Well, hello everybody and welcome to the final episode of my Janthir Wilds playthrough. Oh man, immediately a thing's broken. That's annoying, I'll deal with that in a second. Yeah, welcome guys, to those of you who have seen the playlist and have just skipped to the end. This is not actually the end of the story, we did that a couple of episodes ago. We've been doing side quests and wrap up. And just as a spoiler, it is pretty good, it's not bad. So yeah, we'll be running through guys. Today I'm going to do some adventures. Jesus, I'm going to be coughing apparently. We're going to wrap up 3 side quests. You can see them here. Tales of the Lowland Wisps, the Falling Star, that's the meteor gauntlet thing from the thumbnail, and Build-a-Quaggan, and I have no idea where that's going. I think they're all pretty simple to do. On top of that, there's the meta event, which is actually triggering right around now. So what I'm going to do is immediately go to LFG. I'm on NA at the moment if you guys want to play with me. This guy says meta event starts whenever. I'm going to try and join on their map. Hopefully this is the right map, because we might be slightly late. It starts at 1/2 and we're at 20 past. Nope, we're on the right map. And for this I'm going to go to the bottom left to do the meta. Now off screen I've played a bunch and I've actually done this meta now 3 times. So it's not actually new to me what we're about to do, but it's still something I want to at least get on screen. I want to show off to you guys that each Titan actually has very, very different mechanics. I thought it was going to be, you know, that green line AoE, where you have to like catch it. I thought it was going to be the same mechanic each time, but that's actually just over at Decima on the top right. On the bottom left, the southwest corner, we have Greer. Greer is a lot harder, apparently. I've only done the meta a few times, so I don't know whether I really can say one way or another. But there is a lot of Condi pressure. There's a lot of boon rip. There's a lot of AoEs. And yeah, they're pretty tanky. You saw on a previous episode of this, I tried to just wing a meta and it didn't actually work out. So, yeah, I'm joining a specific map here and hopefully that will go well and we'll be okay. So, oh, my thing is working. So, hello to people in the live chat. Now, one thing that really annoyed me on the last episode was that guy, and I think it was incredibly arrogant of him, but a guy comes in, says something in chat, didn't get a response in a few seconds, and then said, oh, WP's too big for chat or something, like really meanly, and then left. And that annoyed me. So, what I'm going to try and do, because I do try to catch chat, it's hard. I don't know what I think about streaming. It's hard because I'm trying to do like a show and I've got to like respond to people. But so what I've done is I've set things up so that I can see chat on my main screen. Because obviously the next series we're going into immediately after this one is Final Fantasy, and there's going to be a lot of that as well. And so what I'm going to try and do is read chat in an easier way by having it literally. So you guys can't see this right now, but I see your chat where the guild chat, where the squad chat is right now. So I can see people saying hello, like literally right now. I can see someone saying, am I late? And so on and so on and so on. So I'm kind of like testing this out. It's funny, there's so many tools and things, but it's really simple. You just can create a doc in OBS these days for chat and just pin it always on top. There you go, you're done. So, yeah, high horse. I hate that fucking high horse thing as well. I really, really hate that. I know people are like, oh, it's memey, it's funny. I really hate it. Because I don't see myself that way in any way. Anyway, yeah, so, so yeah, we'll see what we can do about the meta. As we roll in as well, I do have some more comments and screenshots and things. Last little bit of lore that I just want to touch on. Because I finished my second playthrough fully now. And so in the last part, there were a couple of times where I pointed the camera and said, alright, let's remember there have been multiple incursions from Titans. Someone's actually got a cool comment about that. Well, I want to very pointedly talk about one final thing in this episode to do with Mabon, Mahir, and Darda, the Masat. Because I think it will be kind of interesting. So anyway, yeah, homesteading. Now, I finished homesteading off. So I have all the recipes, and I did go to my home instance, because one of the ideas for this episode was I'd come in and I'd show you all my decoration stuff. I'm canning that, okay? I did go in there, and what I immediately did was I bought a bunch of refinement things again, thinking, okay, this is fine, I'll spend a bunch, you know, like I spent a bunch of parsnips, for example. I did that again, assuming I was getting the better rates immediately because I'd leveled the mastery up. Then I clicked the next tab on that vendor, and I saw it had all the upgrades. So I wasted a bunch, and I don't know. The economy side of it's just kind of a bit off-putting to me at the moment. It's really weird, guys. I came into this expansion really excited about the housing, and I've barely touched it, and I'm not very motivated to touch it, to be honest. It is good. It's blatantly good, the stuff that's in there. The whole stable that we did the tour on, the mine, all that. So I've used some collection boxes and stuff. It's obviously very good. It is, but I haven't really done anything. So what I'm thinking instead, guys, is obviously after this episode there's going to be a 3-month break for the next patch. And so I'll decorate before that. That gives me plenty of time to slowly build decorations and stuff. But what I have also done here is I've unlocked the final mastery. Well, I haven't unlocked it. I've trained the final mastery, Scavenger of the Wilds. So this was the last thing, and it's an XP boost while in Janthir Wilds, and I gain additional currencies. This is the one, if you're going to like meta game the whole thing, you're just going to beeline this. Should probably beeline this. But yeah, I finished this off. Once again, actually, it took me a while to get the points. So I've done like various events to get just some more mastery points, and there were a bunch of random achievements. So like, oh, you can't see because recently completed still gets wasted with this crap. But yeah, so anyway, I got 8 points. It cost 7 to buy this. This isn't a total waste getting this last, because in 3 months we will still technically be in Janthir Wilds. So I'll have 10% bonus XP to whatever the devs add next. And I've been curious, in Secrets of the Obscure, obviously they have Inner Nyos as its own track. So are we going to get 2 full tracks? One for, you know, what's it called? Janthir Gravis, and another one for the Highland Shore or something? I don't know. By the way, I noticed these all look really cool, you know? I don't know exactly when they all came in, but you got Janthir and the Bay and the Isles and Gravis and Shore. I can't remember when they got added. Also, by the way, now that I'm playing on List, it's so cool to like zoom out and see like a completed world map, and just like imagine, I just imagine myself 2 years ago looking at this world map. Like, first of all, how much it's expanded with End of Dragons, but also just like all these places I've been to now as well. And these, we of course know, wasn't really that captivating, but still. So yeah, as soon as you're smart, people will hate you for that, WP. I don't think that's what that is. No, and I'm not very smart either. I'm a slow learner, and I miss a lot of details. The only thing I have going for me is I can hyperfixate on a thing until eventually I have a bit of an understanding. That's basically it. You really like the economy ideas behind the homestead. It seems convoluted, but it's pretty smart too. Yeah, and I want to play that, and I want to learn that, but cramming it all in one night, basically, I thought, you know what, I'm not going to do that. We might visit the homestead in this last instance. So again, I'm not bagging on it. I think they did good. We've covered the decoration updates, but I think that will be an ongoing thing. We'll look at that when we return for the 3 months patch. And so the 3 months patch is kind of an interesting thing as well. Obviously, last year, the first mini X pack, Secrets of the Obscure, first of all, didn't really capture me as much as this one did. I didn't do a bunch of the side stuff. And then with all 3, I'd love to say it was only the last 2, but with all 3 of those patches, I mean, no, am I doing myself a disservice? We did a proper playthrough of the first one, didn't we? Right when it came out. But look, I got really, really disinterested. And you didn't see, like, a full playthrough, like, coherently. Like, that last patch, we stretched out, like, 1 episode every 3 weeks or something, right? Like, every single episode was, hi, guys, it's been 3 weeks or something, you know. It's been, like, ages. So, look, what I would like to... So, look, what I'm trying to say is Secrets of the Obscure wasn't too good. But what I feel very connected to the game at the moment, and I believe in 3 months, or rather more like 10 weeks, I will still feel that. So we'll do a good playthrough in 10 weeks. We will go for that. And I'd like to do reviews as well. So I've done a lot of thought. I kind of don't want to slip into the channel update here, but I've got a channel update coming, which will talk more about the Final Fantasy project and just the channel in general. Because if you remember at the start of this year, I gave you guys a channel update, and I said, here's my plan. I'm going to do another one now, halfway through the year, where I say, hey, here's how the plan's going, how I feel about it, what we're doing next. So anyway, so I've been working on a channel update, and I guess I won't get too into that stuff here. But one thing I want to be doing more of is like video essays and stuff. So in the previous episode of this, I was saying I don't think I'll do a review. Actually, I will do a review. I think I'm going to do a review of Janthir Wilds, guys. So I'd like to do a playthrough followed by a review here. So you'll see what I think about some of that stuff as we go forwards. It still feels a bit weird doing a Janthir Wilds review halfway through the expansion. I mean, we've paid for a full year's stuff now. The story's just stopped halfway. You know, there's a bunch of stuff still to come. But it might be of some worth. You know, what's funny is, really, is the best review to do right now is the Secrets of the Obscure review. But obviously that's old news now, and nobody really wants that. It's kind of a sneaky way in which ArenaNet can... I don't know, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing for them? You know, any criticism of a mini-X pack on launch can be insulated. And then when a full thing can be done, well, it's old news, no one's clicking it anyway, so review sites and people like me aren't incentivized to do it when it's of most accurate. Disco Elysium essay. Disco is crazy. I would love to do a playthrough. You know, Disco, you know this whole thing about Isgar and like this, like essentially unempathetic, like super long-term thinking guy. Disco does that story with the moral intern and the airships and the alien abduction story. And Disco does it in such a good way. It's even tied to the empathy, like, skill line. Like, if you try to play a very empathetic Harry that cares about the world and the suffering around him, it will lead you into that story, and it will show you how unempathetic you can be if you take too long of a view. You know, it's like Janthir Wilds had that quote from Isgarin about how he's not rational. He is rational. He's not empathetic. I think that's the difference. So, but anyway, so Disco's so good, guys. And it does it brilliantly. All this grumbling I've been doing about Isgarin, oh my god, that game. But it's so hard to talk about, like, because I don't have a political science background. So I feel like I'm just going to be constantly putting my foot in my mouth and talking about things that I don't really get. But that's like the magic of that game, I think, that anyone can play it and you realize, oh, there are these bigger I don't know. Anyway, I'd love to do it. That's too big for one essay, though. That would just be a let's play, hardcore bagged down by, like, long discussions about things. Okay, the meta's quite hard, by the way, so I'm going to be playing a healer. I'm actually going to be playing an Alacrity healer on staff, because I actually, on 2 times I've done this meta event, I've actually found it's been of great use to people. With like lots and lots of reses and lots of massive heals. So my understanding is that this one's the harder one. It's also the one that hasn't appeared on stream. So there's a lot of incentive for us to come down here and show this off. But yeah, we're in this cool swamp, and the swamp is absolutely gorgeous as well, by the way. There's a commander line when you're scouting this where the commander says, oh, Greer turned this whole place into a swamp. Joseph Anderson style essays. I don't know who that is. A review of Secrets of the Obscure with the context of Janthir Wilds and the comparison could be interesting. Well, I think what I would love to do is a review of each. Well, I say each, like the next one's going to be the last one or something. I don't know why I'm resigned to that fact. I'd like to see 3 mini X packs and then review mini X packs. I think that would be cool. You could review each individual product and then review the whole concept, the idea that the studio is going for, you know. I feel like with 2, it's still slightly premature, but 1 more, you definitely have a picture of what a mini X-Pack can and will do. We already have a very good idea, right? But just in terms of, like, feature changes and things. But yeah, I think I have a lot to say about Guild Wars at the moment, and a review. See, the thing is, you know, if you've just watched this playthrough of mine, you know all my opinions about Janthir Wilds. You know them all. They haven't been pithily put down and lined up. As pithy or as snappy as I can possibly be, which is not very. You already know, but I think what would be most useful actually is not necessarily just a Janthir Wilds playthrough review. I want to do a video where I explain just broadly how I feel about Guild Wars, the things where the game, not just Janthir Wilds, but what is the game satisfying me with. This is stuck at 0-0 and it looks very weird. What is the game missing for me? Because it is missing big things. What did this hit? What did it not? So that's kind of what the video would be, a bit more than anything else, I think. There we go. Yeah, the storm rumbles. A review of Janthir Wilds would be useful for people who are buying an incomplete product to answer the question of whether that's of what's in the game right now and whether it's worth the price tag. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, like you can say, is this worth your money all on its own without the second half? But you know, I'm not very captivated by the idea of like being an advocate for your wallet, because I don't know what your money situation is really. I can never do a video, and I think really trying to do this well is a pointless endeavor. I can never do a video where I tell you whether it's worth buying for you, really. I can give you, because my satisfaction levels are going to be so different to yours, and what's expensive to me is going to be so different to what's expensive to you. Like, look, some of these streams, I've had like a donation, which is someone spent the amount they'd spend on the entire expansion on a single donation. You know, to a person like that, they're going to be fine, I think, with the, probably with the value. And besides, value for money is such a small part of it. It's such a like petty, silly thing to talk about. Because what we really want to review, okay, what's really happening, it's not about people's money, not really. It's about you're clearly a fan already, or were a fan of this franchise, and what you want to know is this game still satisfying you? Oh my god, do you know why I'm so excited to go to Final Fantasy? Fucking NPCs that stop interrupting me. You're a fan, you want to see Guild Wars thrive, you want to feel like it's a place to be, you want to feel like it's got good experiences for you. The buck stops there. You like the RPG, you like the story, you like the setting, you like the character, whatever. And you want to feel like it's got life in it, and you want to feel like there are things to experience and do. You're a fan of World vs. World, you want to feel like it's thriving. So it's not really like, you can't turn around and say, oh, but it was cheap. It's not very good, but it's cheap. It's value. It's like, nobody wants that. The people don't want to feel like it's cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like I mentioned to you guys when I was upset with the, upset is too big of a word really. When I was talking about the Isgaran characterization and whether I was really enjoying it or not. And I said, look, this final instance, I didn't really enjoy. I didn't like the end. I liked most of it, I didn't like the end. And I said to you guys, you know, it's okay if I don't like a small bit of it. You know, I got a comment from someone who basically said, oh, WP will hate it no matter what. He's going to hate it. Like, I always think that he's not going to like it. And it's like, yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of this massive product that I don't like. You're just going to have to accept there's going to be a bit. It doesn't mean I don't like the whole thing. There's going to be a little bit that I don't like. And, oh god, I've forgotten where I was going with this. How does this tie into the value for money discussion? No, I had a really good connection there. I don't know. Oh, that's really annoying. I had a very coherent connection. It's gone now. So, but basically, I think like, oh yeah, no, I remember what it was. They basically said in this comment where they said, oh, he's not going to like it. Full stop. They said, we phased that pretty quick there. It feels like, by the way. I think this is going well, and I'm not even taking much damage. They said, oh, WP's not going to like it no matter what. But what he needs to consider is what we've paid for this. Oh, we didn't pay that much for it, so, you know, maybe knock that out. And it's a weird sentiment in a comment. It's a weird thing to say, because it's like, okay, so because it's cheap, we have to enjoy it uniformly. I can't make any critique of this because it was cheap. I remember the same thing came up with Dragonstorm. I played it, I'd made my video on or whatever. I think the day it came out. Oh, and now we're breaking the bar. I shouldn't really linger in water this much. I remember when Dragonstorm came out and I loathed it. I remembered I went to someone else's stream and I was watching their stream and someone asked them, I was just lurking, I didn't say anything. Someone asked them, hey, do you like it? And they immediately, instead of criticizing the game or being honest about the fact that it was a pretty disappointing patch, oh, we got to use the 3 to tether, and then we run in circles. They said, well, it was free. They said you didn't pay anything for this. Like, that's some kind of an answer to the whole thing. It doesn't matter if it's free or if it's cheap. Value for money only goes so far. It sucks that the potential of a great storyline is lost forever, you know? I don't want to just have free things that barely pass the bar for entertainment. I want good experiences. So again, I think the whole value for money thing, in terms of like video essays and reviews and stuff, it's pointless. It's not really. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. You could. So what? ArenaNet can do terrible things. You know, they can do the most horrendous retcons. They can destroy your class in balance for no good reason. Whatever you get angry about, right? But because it's free, we can't talk about it. Like it's not honest. Or if it is honest on the part of the speaker, it's not well thought out. Let's put it that way. So yeah. And this whole thing of like Janthir Wilds is half out. Is it value for money already? All I care about is it a good experience? That's all that actually matters, I think, ultimately. I mean, yeah, if we're being asked to pay way over the odds, I think value for money discussions come in. You know, if they're selling it for but they're clearly not. It's clearly not a super expensive game, and it never has been. Of course, on the dev side, they have to figure out how to do really great stuff and have fun as creatives and all that with a lesser budget. But you know, that's not the community's job to talk about, really. That's theirs, I think, at a certain point. So anyway, this is going really, really well. So here, there's the green telegraphs, by the way, and the icon has 3 players over it. In the icon for like how many people need to stack, and I wonder if that literally means you need 3 people to stack in here. I would love if ArenaNet had a whole suite of icons, like it's 4 people on the icon if you need 4 to pass mechanics. See 1, 2, 3, these under my cursor. I think that would be really cool and an improvement over some of the telegraphing we saw, say, in the Temple of Febe, where you need 3, but there's really not too much of an indication of what that threshold is. So it could be very specifically 3. Or it could just be a generic icon for now. We're not going to know until the Convergence and the Raid comes out in 10 weeks. I'll try and res that guy. I really am just camping. It's not good for alacrity at all, really. I mean, I've got permanent alacrity. The fact that the transmute gives stab as well, I think, is kind of huge as well. You would happily pay more if they made the expansion bigger. Yeah, I mean, I've always said, look, if they gave me a story the length of core and the scope of core, I would pay 60 quid for that. 60 quid, not even that would be expensive. But I would do, as a Guild Wars fan, I would do that for me personally. But I think that's when we're in a real, okay, is it value for money thing. I feel a bit weird talking about all this though, because I don't know, it feels a bit out of touch or something. For some people, the 20 quid is a lot, and I don't want to, you know, admonish that or ignore that. The thing is, as well, this game has an aging population. It's like the leftovers of Guild Wars 1 and launch Guild Wars 2. I don't know how much outside reach there. I don't know how much, like, true growth beyond there is. So I think there are a lot of older people. I think MMOs in general, the audience is aging a bit, right? Like, all the kids are in Roblox and fucking Fortnite and shit. Even that might be a bit dated from me saying that now. Anyway, my point is, as it has an aging population, people have a little bit more cash in their pocket because they're getting on in their careers, you know, and they've got, you know. So, I don't know. Again, that's why it's kind of tricky to talk about. I don't know. Or pointless to talk about, let me put it that way. So, another topic, by the way, complete change attack. I just noticed I had a bomber barrier there. And obviously people are dying and getting ported back into the group. Talking about balance, there is a balance preview. I kind of want to do a balance for boots. I don't know, though. I feel weird that we haven't done one for ages. It's odd to think we might have done our last. But I really like the look of the balance. So, the build I've been playing on Lis in Janthir Wilds for a while now is I've been playing a Hammer Catalyst, Celestial, with the Relic of Rivers, as I showed you off in the last part, and with Self-Quickness. Now that trait, they are updating that trait so that you can build energy even while the field is already down, which I'm telling you guys will dramatically change the quality of life for Catalyst Quickness givers, and even like those solo open world build. It's going to be so good. Like, it makes me not want to play Lis until the patch is out. Like, I'm so excited for it. It looks like a very, very cool change. And it's interesting they tied it to just 1 Grand Master instead of making it a baseline thing. The average age of an MMO player is 26, apparently. Well, there you go. It's quite interesting. Did it put the tether on already? No. So that I'm looking forward to. Warriors getting some cool updates. Dagger offhand can cleave on the 4. Will do max damage against anything with a break bar. And the 5 has like double the barrier. So I've always loved Dagger offhand. And I would love... And obviously it's not tied to just Spellbreaker anymore. As of Seekers of the Obscure last year. Also, the quickness stuff, it looks good. Scrapper has more might on its quickness as well. It looks to me like a very cool update. One of the things that they've done in the update that my immediate impression was, oh good, that's cool, is a necro change. Now, can I just say, you've heard me in this Let's Play talking about this. I've been saying that they're not brave enough with the balance. They're not doing big things with the balance. They're not codifying stuff. They're not... You know, whenever I come back to Guild Wars, I immediately feel like, ugh, this is weird, this is weird. But they need to, like, take the hammer to the wall a little bit. And I'm kind of an advocate for bigger, braver stuff with the balance. And they're very infrequent, the balance patches with this game. And they're very, like, timid. So that's where I'm coming from. So if ArenaNet makes a bold change, I'm all for it. I don't really care that much about nerfs if it's better for the game as a whole. So here's what I think is clearly happening. They are designing the next raid and Convergence, and they're kind of annoyed, probably, and they've been butting their heads against this, probably, for a long time, with the fact that they can make something like the Bone Skinner fight. A ton of people can die out of position, and they should be getting just defeated by flak or whatever. But all 5 bodies teleport. Like, half your squad can fuck up a mechanic. And then the Scourge can just pop and move everyone over. Transfuse. So, like, I think the idea of teleporting everyone's bodies to you is really cool. I think it's some amazing utility and a very, very fun idea that deserves to be in the game. But the way it's tied to transfusion means that it's... Here we go. We're finally cooking now. We got a lot we can do with this. Lots of reses. It's super low cooldown and incidental, and there is no cost to it almost. It's very, very, very easy to do, and it's so many bodies. It's an extremely powerful thing. There are certain things that are in Guild Wars that you can kind of take for granted, but are unbelievably powerful. Like Temporal Curtain, like being able to pull all the enemies in a dungeon together to just nuke them, is massive. Like, I remember when I played WoW Classic and did like proper dungeoning again in a game without that. Guild Wars 1 doesn't have a Temporal Curtain type thing. And it completely changes the strategy and the positioning of everything just because of pull mechanics. And there's kind of this thing where it's like, oh, because we've got to play with it, it's now a line in the sand, we can never remove it. But the game is, on the whole, going to be a lot better and a lot tighter. And they can do good stuff. Transfusion's just like a huge outlier. And again, I think it deserves to be in the game, but it should be like Signet of Courage level shit, like Guardian has. It should be like Signet of Courage. Full heals you, or if you're down, teleports everyone's bodies to you. Like, an AoE thing for that is just so important. It's been in the game for years, and so I see in the patch notes they're removing that impact from Transfuse. And they have a little line saying it's just overpowered a little bit, but that's it. So look, I think it's a really good change. I think it's a bold move for once, and I think it will improve the scene. And I like it. Of course, everyone's thrown into a fucking hissy fit, because the only thing people ever care about is, oh, my toy got taken away. So I don't know. I think the smartest thing ArenaNet could have done would have been to shift the effects of Transfuse onto something else in Necro. But the thing is, they don't really have a great super high cooldown elite. I mean, at that point, make one, I guess. I don't know. But I think the Transfuse thing's fine. I think it's exciting. There's a lot of Guardian updates talking about Signet of Courage. That became a stun break. So many of the changes, by the way, I'm like, oh, this looks like it would be fun for PvP. Like, so many of the changes, I'm like, that would be cool if I was still PvPing. That would be cool if I was still PvPing. Because obviously open world and stuff means nothing and doesn't have any impact on any of this. But goddamn, man, it's not enough to get me back. There has to be a population. There has to be a... I mean, this is stuff that I could put into just the Janthir Wilds review, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. State of the game. It's more of a state of the game review that I want to do rather than an expansion-specific thing. But, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. The balance looks good. There are some other little highlights in there. But yeah, just something to rant about while we do the meta. And there you go, that's the meta. There is a little trick in the game at the moment. You get some chests. These are supposed to be locked, right? These chests on the other side of the map. Because I didn't participate in this Titan's destruction. However, if we log out and then log back in... sorry, character select and then come back in. You can open the chests. Which I assume will be fixed at some point. But it's sort of the culture right now, so... So like here, for example. The thing is, ArenaNet continuously have removed the idea of high power elites. Like the problem is as well, there's this really annoying thing when it comes to balance discussion, where like things have to stay within the class. So like transfuse, they've got rid of it. Necros are going to be saying, oh, but I need transfuse now. Like the best place to put it would be on another class, to be honest, or like the Druid Elite, Glyph of the Stars, I think it's called. Shit like that, it makes sense, the body teleport thing, so it can stay in the game. But there's this weird thing where it kind of, like, people act like the only thing you can do in Guild Wars is one class, when it's the most multi-class friendly game out there. Aside from the fact that you kind of have a lot to learn, it's just a mess. This game's a mess. Like, you can swap all the gear and the Ascended stuff, and Masteries are account bound and all that, and you can teleport to a friend and go anywhere. You don't even need to explore the map, and you can get a level 80 booster instantly, and you can get level 60 boosters really easily. You can get an ult really easily in Guild Wars 2, but the gameplay itself is complex enough that it puts people off. Because, you know, at the higher end, you're actually learning a rotation. But, you know, there's, what is it, 18 traits to understand, and there's all this... So it puts people off, you know. So despite all the freedoms they afforded people... it really doesn't create much, I almost said social mobility there, like class mobility, because of the fundamentals of the way they made the game. The fundamentals of the combat and the trait system are actually more suited to a more character-bound experience. So we're kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out with Guild Wars, and we don't get any of the benefits of either. Meanwhile, you know, it wrecks metas because, oh, everyone who's actually into the game will just swap to Virtuoso, or, you know, Celestial Scourge, or whatever, for example. Sally Scourge is still going to be disgustingly strong, by the way. If they really do manage to make a good raid coming up, like with good tuning and the whole LM thing, Sally Scourge is going to be a huge thing there. Even without transfuse, the damage you can do versus the tankiness you get, it's going to be massive. It's going to be a big thing for just sort of blowing your way through any kind of content. But transfuse is a thing. So anyway, I'm happy with the transfuse change. If all you do is play Guild Wars 2, support Necro, and that's it, and you're sad about it, then maybe play another class. I don't know. Okay. So there you go. That's the meta. That's one thing I wanted to do today. What else did we want to do? Well, I wanted to talk about the balance, and we've done that. That's good. Okay, let's get into a little bit of lore here. Now, I'm very interested. First of all, I've gone on the wiki now, and I've looked through, like, all of the pages that I can. And obviously they're still in the act of updating the wiki. But I've looked around for any kind of ghost conversations that we might have missed. Or notes and interactables. It looks like we haven't really missed anything. The wiki obviously still has documentation to do. But I think we've pretty much got the lot, guys. I don't know of any more interactables or anything that hasn't been read out on this series. So I'm very happy with that. And now that I know that we've seen all of that, it makes what ArenaNet put in a little bit more interesting to me, because it's like, okay, this is one of the few notes they added. This is kind of a big deal, really. Anyway, so one of them is this researcher's record here. I seriously think this is the single most interesting lore note in the game. This is fascinating. This is the record from High Researcher Darda, okay? A female Massart somewhere on Tyria, presumably, or who has actually managed to escape to the mists at this point. I just want to reread this in context of fully knowing Janthir Wild's story. And also, I'm going to give you the Secrets of the Obscure thing from Mabon. So let's jump on in here. Images. Yeah, I deleted it. Don't worry, OBS. By the way, look at this screenshot. This map is oh, it's a bit big, isn't it, really? Hold on. The map is good. Look at the trees back there. That looks a bit crunchy and sharp, to be honest. I don't know. Why does it look so sharp there? It doesn't actually look like that for me in game. I think there's a thing, by the way, about sharpening and certain anti-aliasing solutions where static images look ultra sharp, but in movement they look less sharp. It's kind of a big thing about that. Anyway, I do this thing in Final Fantasy where I'm taking screenshots because I play it on Steam constantly. And I want to do that with Guild Wars, but I don't own the game on Steam, so it's kind of like, what would be the point? I don't know. Keeping my own private archive of screenshots somehow isn't that interesting anymore, but if they can be shared, even though I'm sure absolutely no one ever looks at them. Anyway, okay, so guys, listen. Aging journal entry. This was in Secrets of the Obscure at the Wizard's Tower in Mabon's quarters. So Mabon wrote this. We've read this before on the series multiple times. We're going to read it one last time, but we're specifically to contrast it with this researcher's record that's at my feet right now, because I think this is amazing. This is basically my favorite thing. Having played all of the Janthir Wilds, thinking about the heist side quests and all the Titan stuff and all the Soul stuff and the Corticus stuff and everything, this is really what is captivating the most to me. Here we go. Aging journal entry. Mabon is reflecting on his earliest months with the Wizard's Tower after his ascension. He's forgotten his past life. And he says, I've been within the walls of the Wizard's Tower for months now. Not all of my memories have returned since the ritual, and they likely won't, but the pit in my gut screams all night. I've little reprieve from what lies below the surface. Okay. Sidebar real quick, just a tiny sidebar about the Ascension ritual. There's been a lot of discussion in Spuds, in the live chat, and even in my comments about that, because we've been talking about Isgarin and the dodgy stuff Isgarin does. One of them is this Ascension ritual that makes people forget their past lives. It seems dodgy as fuck, right? That's a weird dodgy thing about Isgarin, and the Fractals project is dodgy and weird as well. One of you guys is convinced that they're real people that he abducted from the village and put them in the Fractals. I really can't find any evidence for that. I don't think they are real people. Or they weren't. They are now. Zin is real. He's out now. Anyway, so that thing about the Ascension being really dodgy, it's not as black and white as a lot of us are talking about. There's kind of this thing, oh, Isgarin's clearly evil. He's making everyone forget all this stuff. And in fact, if you remember, when I played through Secrets of the Obscure last year, I was talking about that same thing. It is dodgy, delightfully dodgy. It's interesting. But people don't forget everything. Like, people in Spud were talking about how Lahir still knows how to use the forge at Drogna's Forge. It's like, well, how does he know that? They're very clear, guys. And Zodja actually says this. She says, you do forget stuff about yourself. Most memories come back. It's just like certain very personal things that you forget. And it's still dodgy. It's like, did Isgarin specifically select things to prune out of people to, like, stop them being so emotional and erratic? They need to be calm and even keel. Like, he's playing God. If he's specifically picking and choosing the shit that people remember and that they don't, it's playing God. Even if we say, well, look, he's just utilizing a Seer ritual, and the Seers as the people did this, and it's not like a specific acute kind of malice, it's a systemic malice. Even still, he's a rational, reasoned person. He can see the ethical grey area of all of that. So, but look, the thing, and it's a brilliant story, and I would love to imagine a version of Guild Wars where there's voice-acted dialogue and proper conversation about all that stuff. It feels like this will forever be relegated to side lore, right? The main story is more preoccupied with, I don't know, more base, easier things to grasp for most of the players, and maybe that's the right way to do it, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to be clear. The ritual doesn't completely make you a blank slate. And even here, you can see Mabon is saying, look, not all of my memories have returned, but a lot of them have. Anyway, he says, they likely won't, but the pit in my gut screams all night. I've little reprieve from what lies below the surface. So they definitely write him as, like, tormented by something. He's got some great guilt. It's not quite as insane as the Waiting Sorrow situation, where she's literally been cut off from the rage of Coda, which may or may not be Coda, or another misentity, or have been Jormag. Because there's a suggestion that Jormag was the rage the whole time, which is pretty boring, by the way, but Jormag was just lying, or something. But then they said Jormag never lies. I don't know. But then there's that thing, once Jormag's defeated at the end of the Icebrood Saga, Waiting Sorrow wasn't feeling the rage anymore. I really want some clarity on this shit. Like that feels like that should be main story stuff. Like, it's insane that Janthir Wilds gave me all this and I didn't really even get to sit down and chat with Waiting Sorrow at any point. Really. Not even about the creation of the Heart of the Obscure. Anyway, I've little reprieve. Probably angry that I hid it all away. Isgarin says that he holds no grudge against me, but he is still guarded. especially when it grows dark in the evenings. He usually crawls back to his chambers or resumes work elsewhere. I love this imagery from this bit as well, by the way. And I like to think that's because of, like, they're two races that were at war for 1,000 years, and they're kind of doing a weird thing here, but there's still going to be that lingering prejudice, you know. I'd understand if he was always like this, though. All I can do now is try to be better than whoever I was before, but that might be a challenge based on what I've learned. So there's this thing, the very end of Janthir Wilds, the final line in the story journal is that Mabon's memory is now suspect. I personally think they are going to tear him down in the next few patches, and I think he's going to be brilliant. I'd like to see, not just be told, what this guy did. There's been 2 full expansions about how amazing and brilliant this dude is, and I'd like to see his earlier crimes now, because I think that puts us into a fun, ethical space. I think people are very small-minded and fickle, and they'll see the newest information is when Mabon was doing nasty stuff, and they'll, like, U-turn, and it'll be complicated, and it'll be good. So anyway, there is another idea that he didn't do anything wrong at all, and this is all just Isgarin manipulating him and has planted false memories. I don't believe any of that, guys. I don't believe any of that. I suppose Isgarin wouldn't have gone along with this ritual if there was any lingering distrust, since it keeps us together for the foreseeable future. He could have also done it for personal gain. His world spire isn't complete after all, and he needed another pair of hands to work with the Shadowstone. I wouldn't have been able to help him if I hadn't gone through with it. At least I'm making an impact. Isgarin might be strange, but he's not bad. He's nervous, maybe, and a little naive, but he's not evil. He did spare me that day. And don't forget, this is ages ago, where I think we fairly can call Isgarin a bit naive. Ascending Waiting Sorrow, Ascending Epoch, or taking a pun on Epoch. I like using that phrase there. He did spare me that day, even though the Massart gave him every reason to gut me before I could do the same to him. By the way, I take that to mean just generically the conflict. I don't take that to mean that Mabon was literally handed over in chains to Isgarin by actively other Massart. That's not how I read that. You could say it is, though. It could be a Massart like Darda, this researcher's record we're about to read, but I'm not going to go that far. He says, my people are cruel. What glimpses remain of my past life that I've mostly forgotten are disquieting, disgusting even. Torture, suffering, blood everywhere? What all did I do that I just can't see? It could have been shit right here where Liz is standing in-game at this very moment, guys. You know, even having chat on the main screen, it's still hard to keep up with you guys, because obviously I'm reading a book. Right. Okay, so all I've left of... so this final bit, this is the bit that I really want to read and compare with this record. Now remember, this is Secrets of the Obscure that we're reading right now. All I've left of myself, my past self, that doesn't make me want to crumble into the abyss is her voice. I don't know who she is, but it might be the only flicker of anything that proves I'm not inherently malevolent. They're out there. This is her saying they're out there in the realm of dreams, our home, our actual home. I see them sometimes when I slumber. Her voice sounds like ocean waves, even if her mask is just a golden sheen smeared at the back of my mind. Now let's really dig in here. He has a vague memory of another Massart who is speaking to him about the ones in the mists that are nicer. So, when I've read this in the past, I've kind of got a bit confused, I guess. I haven't thought clearly about it. I've kind of been thinking that this lady's voice is a Massart in the mists. But it's clearly not, guys. This is a Massart that was on Tyria with him. Mabon was an exiled Massart, or at least the son of an exiled Massart. And she is an exiled Massart on Tyria. They're both on Tyria, having a conversation on Tyria. And she's talking about the ones in the mists. She's not in the mists. She's presumably right here with Mabon. And I took this to be like a very loving thing as well, by the way. He hears her voice, and I kind of thought, oh, this is like a romance. I don't know, something about her beautiful voice and all this shit. It seemed like... But I think it doesn't have to... This could be totally platonic, actually. And why do I say this could be platonic, and why am I saying this is a Massart that's on Tyria? Because, finally, now we're a year later, Janthir Wilds gives us this... no, let's move this over here. This researcher's record. This is a Massart on Tyria. And what does she say? And now I'm going to give it to you big. Whoopsie. The heart of the obscure hum. Oh, I'm getting attacked. What a surprise. I'm just going to let this die if I end up dying there. The heart of the obscure hums in your possession. Your eyes flash, and the old Massart script on the scroll shifts until it becomes familiar and readable. And then she says, pretenders. Never have I seen such a farce. I'd almost be impressed if I had less than a pinch of self-respect left in these ancient bones. What Manakaz and his cabal of our peers are doing to that town may yield impressive results in time, but the fear of it, gods, the unseen ones they call themselves, and what's worse are those preening white mantle sycophants that sit at their talons. I remember a time when finding our way home was paramount, not to be abandoned to this realm cursed with dragons and gods and other threats from beyond. So what she's saying is, okay, all of us Massart, we're exiled here, we're stuck on Tyria, and it's doom because there's titans here and there's elder dragons here. It's not a nice place. And she's saying, once upon a time, we all just wanted to go home. So why the fuck is the plan changed to keeping the door of Kamali shut and all these blood sacrifices? Why are we trying to just live here now? I want to go home. I don't want to do this. I don't believe in all the theatre. I don't believe in all this bullshit. I want to go home. That's what she's saying. She says, we've inherited this exile. This is just punishment. The exile is a punishment for our forebearers. At least those who survived the last cycle. So, what this is saying is 10k years ago. Because remember, not all the Massart are necessarily immortal, right? But what she's saying is 10k years ago, some Massart did something terrible. They got exiled. They got stuck here. Tyria is Australia or whatever, right? The penal colony. And now they have been breeding, and there's nice people there now. Normal people. People who didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, don't they deserve to go to the Mists? That's who she is. That's who Mabon is. And so she's saying, we've inherited this, though perhaps it is for the best. Maybe we are the monsters that our Mistborn ancestors deem us to be, if this is what Manakaz is doing, if my peers' actions are indicative. Look at how fucking crazy those guys are. So maybe we deserve to be exiled. She says, there used to be more like me, who just wanted to go home, who wouldn't do this crazy stuff, but too many have been lost in the war with the Seers. Others exiled themselves to far corners. Mabon, I think, qualifies as a character who exiled himself to a far corner, with Isgarin's ritual and so on. And obviously there's this tantalizing idea that there might be even more alive out there, still on Tyria even. She says they had the right of it, I think. Maybe I'll leave, but where does a being like me even go? Some nights I dream of Meteor, his golden face, and I see him drifting between citadels of another realm. Foolish dreams. This is the only home I've ever known, for better or worse. So, she's awesome. I can't wait to meet her. She's going to be in the next patches. If there's going to be anything to focus on, I think, in these last episodes, it's right here. This is very, very, very important. What's that in Discord? WP on the roof? I'm on a roof? Oh, you're watching me on the roof. Oh, I see. Rocker's watching this stream projecting on his ceiling. I thought you meant in-game I was on the roof. Okay, so basically, guys, here's what I think this is. So let's talk about romance again. Here. Some nights I dream of Meteor, his golden face. I see him drifting between citadels of another realm. So here we seem to have, she's in love, or it could be platonic, but again, I think it's romantic. And of a guy called Meteor, and there's a suggestion again that that's a Massart in the Mists. So, look, it could be Mabon loves her, but she loves a third guy who's in the Mists. Or it could be Mabon doesn't love her, it's platonic, but they used to talk to each other about going home. At least these two did. They weren't with Manakaz. They used to talk about going home. And he still has a vague memory, and it was platonic. But she cares about someone in the Mists. Or finally, let's talk about her love and the Mists. What does this actually say? It says, some nights I dream of Meteor, his golden face. Full stop. I see him drifting between citadels of another realm. So, let's imagine we're her. We're connected with Mabon, platonic or not, right? We like Mabon. Maybe his name is Meteor. He leaves. He self-exiles himself. But maybe he leaves in such a way that she believes he's managed to get to the Mists. She believes he made it. She believes he got out of there. Or maybe she even knows he never got out. Maybe she knows that. But it was like a shared dream between the two of them. Oh, we're going to get out one day. We're going to escape. We're going to go find our real people one day, I promise. You know, they have this pact between them. They're both desperate to get out, but through tragedy or whatever, unfortunately, that never came to pass. But now, years later, when she remembers him and she thinks of him, she likes to imagine him in heaven. He made it, even though he didn't really. So it could be any of these interpretations. I guess it just depends what ArenaNet go for, but it's very specifically worded. I think a lot of this shit is in this expansion. What one do I personally like the most? I like to think that they were both romantically involved, and Mahir was Mabon's original name. But, I mean, Mahir could be a third guy, and he could be someone who managed to escape. I don't know. But she's only dreaming. She's dreaming of someone she cares about in a place that she always wanted to be. And it's funny as well, when I first read this Citadels of Another Realm, I took it totally at face value, like, this is a Massart talking about the other realm. Like she knows. But she doesn't know. She's the daughter of... There's some exiled Massart, ultimately. Well, you know, she used the word forebears. ArenaNet are vague about it, or whatever. But, she's never been out there. She doesn't even know. She's just like us. She doesn't know what it's like out there. Not necessarily. Unless she's, you know, she's got some insight. And I assume she will have had some insight. I feel like she's locked herself away in Bavanisos or something, and... I mean, we're gonna meet this character. Right? I mean, this is clearly a thing. So anyway, yeah, and I wanted to put those two notes side by side. It's easy not to put them side by side, because there was a year and there's a billion notes that you read. But yeah, I wanted to put a point on it. Now, I have one final lore thing I want to mention to you guys. It's about this. This is my... I'm going to give you guys a theory now, a prediction, a guess. By the way, I'm going to be completely arrogant here. One thing I've really loved is watching the YouTube comments. I keep getting comments from people with random timestamps from random videos all over the place. Like video essays I might have done, or lore deep dives, or the Let's Plays, whatever. There's just random timestamps keep coming in, where someone's like, oh, look, here WP's guessing a thing, and then it's like exactly what happened. So I'm hoping, that's awesome, right? And I'm hoping that we're having another moment right now. Okay, here we go. I hope to see the timestamp one day, because I think this is a very good guess about a very obvious guess. What I'm going to say is very obvious, but I've never said it out loud. It's just been bubbling in the back of my mind, and maybe that's the same for you guys. So let's just get it out there. I think I know a big piece of Seer history that has not been told to us yet, and it ties to Isgaren's lack of empathy, particularly regarding death. So what has Janthir Wilds been very clear... So, okay, so Guild Wars 1 lore has Doric cutting himself over the Bloodstone in like a pact to reseal the magic within it. And I always took that to just be a figurative thing. It didn't really matter, but, you know, is blood really necessary? I always assumed it was just kind of called Bloodstone because of the colour of it or whatever. But Janthir Wild... So then we had End of Dragons, which clearly started talking about there's blood and power. There are immortals. There are immortal humans. By the way, random tangent, could the humans in Janthir be doing Seer shit to ascend themselves to become immortal? The evil vampire oligarch overlords, have they found access to some Seer shit? But again, another big theme with them, with their immortality, is blood. Blood magic. Now we go back to the Bloodstones. Janthir Wilds has been very, very, very clear. Okay, then you had prophecies where the Massart are killing people on the Bloodstone. So blood is obviously a part of that. I always focus more on the death being a part of that, but blood is a big part of that, obviously. To extract the souls, store them in the soul batteries. Same shit was happening here. But what has Janthir Wilds done very clearly about this? When you play prophecies, there is no blood. You know, it's a PG-13 game or whatever. There's not like loads of crimson gore or whatever. But here, they've been very clear, all right? Janthir Wilds have been very clear. Blood is a big component of this. They are spilling blood. It is blood magic. Blood, blood, blood with the bloodstones. Okay? So here's the Seer thing. And death as well, obviously, is a thing here. Let's think about the manufacturing of the bloodstones. somehow the Seers transferred fuck tons of magic and power into these things. And that's always just been like hand-waved, like how, like they just did that. Like they have stuff like shadow stones and conduits or whatever, I don't know. They just did it. They filled it with magic. I think that where we're going to is ArenaNet are going to reveal. So then, and then finally we have the Masat Seer War, where there's like no Seers left, really, on Tyria here. I guess the Bloodstone creation was before that. But anyway, you see where I'm going. I think it's going to be revealed that the Seers, like, committed mass suicide and, like, sacrificed themselves in order to fill these Bloodstones with magic. I think during the previous Elder Dragon cycle, Sidoni and his Forgos or whatever, I think they basically said, look, the world's fucked, but we can hide this magic away. We'll have some of us survive. Societies are going to die, but there will be a chance for the future world. But it's going to cost. It's going to come at the cost of a lot of blood magic on our part. I think that the Seers commit mass, you know, sacrifice in order to fill the Bloodstones in the first place, and like destroyed themselves as a people, basically. And a few got to carry on their legacy and continue along. Now, if you're Isgarin, like, if you replay through Janthir Wilds, right, and even Secrets of the Obscure, with Isgarin saying shit, oh, when we're like, oh, some of our people died in the Elder Dragon fight, and Isgarin's like, yeah, a couple did. Sorry about Tibble, whatever. It could have been a lot worse. He doesn't really care that a couple of people died. In Janthir Wilds, in the Lion's Arch instance, there's a very specific, like, emotional beat. There's a moment with Isgarin where people are like, oh, well, you didn't help with our tragedies, Isgarin. You didn't help. Or they accuse him of being emotional or something. And his response is, I've had a lifetime of these issues. He basically says the tragedies I've experienced throughout my life are massive compared to yours. There's a line in the Lion's Arch. You'll have to replay it. I don't have a quote, unfortunately. But he basically says, I've lived through some really tragic shit. And you think you've gone through the ringer. I'm an immortal. I've gone through a hell of a lot more. It stacks up way more. Believe me, I understand what, you know, pain. I've gone through some shit. So it's we've got this generic idea that Isgarin is the last Seer and he's watched his people die. But I think there's going to be this twist that a lot of them obviously there was the Masat War, obviously, and a lot of the Seers got wiped out of that. But I really think they're basically going to say, look, the Bloodstones operate through blood magic, and I think it's going to be the original filling of them. A lot of Seers walk to their deaths in that plan. And I think that's just an amazing story. I would love that detail to be properly revealed, because again, it puts so much more interest on the bit where Sidoni calls all the Seers back. Like, a ton of Masat and Forgotten got slaughtered by Zaitan from that decision. A ton of them died to that. And the Seers filling the Bloodstones might view, you know, they're on the way out as well, as penance, you know. The thing is, right, like, us as Guild Wars 2 players, we look at the Elder Dragon. It's very easy to look at the Elder Dragons as, like, this hand-waveable thing now. They are the apocalypse. They're killing everyone and everything. I know we just kind of, doo-dee-doo, let's go kill Morgemoth, and like 5 days later we've done it with like 3 people. I know that, like, we've experienced some small-scale stuff, but the actual world building, like, it is doom. Everyone's dead. All the magic's gone, especially those who rely on magic. It's over. So yeah, a bunch of Forgotten died, a bunch of Masat died. These civilizations are withering, and I like the idea that the Seers did this, and Isgarin lost people he cares about and stuff, and it puts a nice element to him as a character. So anyway, that's kind of what I think. It's just the Janthir Wilds focus on self-sacrifice around the Bloodstones and how they operate. So, like, there's this question of, like, what is the magic beneath us? What is the majority of the souls or the power beneath us? You know. And so anyway, that's my little thing. I think that might be what ArenaNet go ahead and reveal ultimately. I think it's a cool thing. Again, it's pretty basic, and when you just say it all out loud, it's like, is it really much of a prediction? But I think there will hopefully be a bit of focus on that before all this stuff is over. But there you go. So in chat, the only reason I'd be skeptical about Mabon being the here or that being a romantic relationship is I'm not sure the timeline matches up quite right. Well, yeah, I mean, it's this weird thing with, like, how long-lived are people. Now, I've got, on that note, with the whole immortality thing, I do have a message from one of you guys. And this came up in the Spud Discord the other day as well, and I want to like run through it. So anyway, let's get some messages from you guys. Let's run through here. Here's a DM I had on Discord. This is from Lorkeen. He says, it might be nothing, but in Hell's Precipice, the ancient Seer says, I wish to see this to an end. Over the eons, much has changed in Tyria, but not the Titans. Now, about the lore being all over the place, which lets you come up with crazy ideas, Cormyr absorbed Abaddon's magic, but some of it, the water, ended up with Lyssa, the goddess of assassins, energy storage, elementalist mysticism, dervishes, and mesmers with their chaos damage. Maybe she got access to Abaddon's domain too? Probably not, but it'd be a fun outcome. Actually, I do like this idea. There does seem to be this weird connection with Abaddon and Lyssa. Obviously, there's the weird connection with Lyssa and Balthazar as well, which hasn't been explained yet. And if we're going to go with the Menzies theory, that Menzies relit the forge, the Menzies in there, whatever, is it possible that whatever kinship was there between Balthazar, he had her mirror, he never cussed her out at the end of POF, is it possible that extended to Menzies as well? Might be something there. Might be. There's also the thing about, like, Abaddon was the god of secrets, and what is the nature of all the secrets he had, you know? Next, we have Blade Fist. This is the immortality thing. I'm just going to read this whole comment before I say my bit. So he says, one thing I've been thinking for the past couple of days, in Isgaren's journal, he talks about how he ascended Waiting Sorrow to save her from Coda's rage, resulting in her becoming immortal. But I have a problem with the idea that ascension makes someone immortal. In Secrets of the Obscure, we saw Mabon die. In the Lonely Tower, we heard Deimos and Ceres killing Akeem and Vas. How are they dying if they're ascended and immortal? I can think of two ways we can get out of this conundrum. One, they can say not all ascended are immortal, being immortal is Waiting Sorrow's power, just as Lahir gained the power to split. Or two, this is more interesting to me, they can say something like ascension makes the ascended's essence connected to the ley lines. That's spelled with an E, not an A, by the way. And as long as the ley line is intact and the connection with the ascended lives. When Isgaren saw Epoch feast on the centaurs, he figured out that demons and Cryptis have the power to eat and damage the ley lines, which we see in the Giala Delve map, which made him banish Epoch and create the World Spire to protect Tyria's ley lines from Cryptis. This is also indirectly answering why Isgaren is now meeting with the Tyrians right after Epoch's death and Cryptis are contained. This option also opens a new door. What constitutes death or life expectancy in Tyria? The elder races, also dragons, live for millennia in Tyria without death, but we see the new races with lower life expectancies, especially after the Six come to Tyria. Maybe Doom and Grenth tempered with the ley lines and altered its nature in a way that makes the essences of the newer races not connected with the ley lines. We see Cryptis and Titans dripping essence but not normal Tyrians. Maybe that's why Isgaren hates the Six so much. I mean, you've gone all over the place with that, which I think is very cool and is basically what I end up doing a lot of the time as well. Well, I would just want to say, immortal doesn't mean invulnerable. They're different things. Immortal means you won't die of old age, and in theory you won't age as well. I mean, there are some fantasy settings where you're immortal but you age. It means time does not kill you. You can live forever. But someone can still chop you. Invulnerable is different to immortal. They're different things. And this has come up so many times over the years. People don't grasp that they're different words for different things. Yes, you can die. You can be an immortal that dies if someone shoots you. But you live forever. Does that make sense? Now, there might be some franchises or settings where they conflate the two, but I think it's pretty clear. So, yeah, a lot of this kind of doesn't really work. But I like the idea that everyone gets a different power, like Leah with the power to split and stuff. Okay, next we have, and I think the whole long life thing is an interesting thing to look at because, yeah, it's like, okay, the Seers learned how to live forever. It's sort of like, in Full Metal Alchemist, isn't that the thing that aren't they going for? And it's the power of blood and souls and stuff. Anyway, the laws of equivalent exchange. Can I just say, I'm going to get people really mad here. That show was overhyped. I didn't like that show that much. It had a couple of big hitters early on in the run, and then meh. MEH, guys, that's right, come at me. Full Metal Alchemist, MEH. Stefan says, everyone's been saying that Malice is a weird character to be joining us, and she sure as hell is. Oh, this is like a very this is like me shaking my own hand here. This is a very wanky comment for me to have grabbed, but here we go. Everyone's saying that Malice is... Because it just agrees with me the whole time. Everyone's been saying that Malice is a weird character to be joining us, and she sure as hell is. Most people see her as a forced-in character, but there's no way ArenaNet wrote her in, and that it was not a specific and deliberate decision. There's definitely a reason she's with us. And the weird mesmer ink that I pointed out in the last episode really, to me, illuminates that further. She's an Ash Imperator, after all. Her motives being a blur suits her. It's been my thinking that somehow all of this is going to lead us back into Banger. How exactly that is, I have no clue, but Banger is clearly the segue back into Char's stories that got put on the back burner during the Icebrood saga. I don't know whether I agree they got backburned. I feel like ArenaNet told or thought they were telling a full story. They just left Banger as a dangling thread just in case, which is what you would want to do if you want stories to tell for years to come. He says, damn, the more I think about it, the more I realise I like the same characters as UWP. Bangar's a favourite of mine as well, and they clearly have plans for him, or they would have just shut that door back in the Icebrood saga saying, Jormag's dead, so Bangar imploded in this cage because Arena's a god or something. Thankfully, that's not the world we live in. Well, actually, I think right around the end of Icebrood saga is when they stopped closing doors and they started opening them again, because even at that point they could see, well, fuck, what are we going to do after End of Dragons? But yeah, I think that thing about the connection of the ink with the Malice inclusion in the story is big. It's funny, guys, my first instinct in this Let's Play was to question why Malice was with us, and immediately I had a lot of you guys saying, because I said, well, it's clearly to set up a betrayal for some cool Char stuff. I think she'll steal the Scepter of Ore if it comes to us using it. I think that'd be a really cool way to end the expansion, maybe move into the next one. But at this point, I'm wondering, you know, maybe we'll move into the Kaineng stuff on the next one, because again, Blood Magic Immortals, it's all similar sort of area, isn't it? But that was my first instinct, and I got a lot of comments from you guys immediately saying, oh no, she won't betray us, she's our friend, we knew her from the Icebrood saga, we like each other. I remember a lot of people said that, and I couldn't really respond at that time, because I hadn't beaten the expansion. I was thinking, okay, well maybe these people have beaten Janthir Wilds, and, you know, Malice really comes into her own by the end, and she does a lot, and she doesn't stick out like a weird sore thumb. Like, she makes sense by the end of the expansion. That's what I was thinking. People are operating with more information than me, so shut up. Well, here I am. I'm at the end of the LP, and she lifts right out, guys. They didn't have to do Malice. I think they picked Malice for a reason. And I think, yeah, because it's got to be an Ash Legion-y, betrayal-y type thing. And maybe Anise has foreseen it, and she's got Dougal to leave a message for Kree or something. I don't know. But I think she lifts out, and if you... First of all, I would say don't pick an Imperator, but if you're going to pick an Imperator, do the Flame Legion Imperator. If you're going to do a story about Titans. But hey. Anyway, as a reminder, there is another theory as well. Cossage talked to me about this, that it's just purely voice actor stuff. It's like, who can they get in the booth? So, you know, and who do they want to load too many lines on? I don't like these kinds of, like, exegetic discussions. I'd like to think that there's more to it than that, but... You know, if you watch, like, the dev Let's Plays and commentary, a lot of the time it is real-world production stuff that affects these kinds of things, so... And in that situation, it's kind of a non-story, isn't it, really? It's just whatever. Anyway, as a reminder, in case you haven't done it already, you wanted to check out Fading Aurora's house now that you know her true identity. I think you'll like it. Also, the Mistburn doesn't appear to be related to Spectral Agony. I don't remember if you made that comment in this last episode or this one, but it doesn't seem to be connected. We don't use Living World Season 3 special action to resist it the way we do against the Massart constructs. Very good point. I'm wrong about this for sure. I don't think the wildlife would survive it either. A few like Spectral Agony cast on the wildlife would just kill him straight away. But this wildlife is mist-burned and it's fine. A few Coden talk about mist-burn in the open world, but the only substantial information comes from Waiting Sorrow when you discovered her true identity. She said that the mists bleed energy into our world. But we've been traveling to the mist for ages and we've never seen this before. Except for the Mist Stranger or Duggan. But nobody talks about it ever again, so I guess it's not important. Hopefully we get an explanation in a couple of months. I think we will get an explanation. I think it is important. I want to just open one last little idea, though. What if Mistburn is just like the natural, simmering version of Spectral Agony? If you're a Massart, you might learn about Mistburn and learn to, like, amplify it. And that's what it is. That's so weird. I'm scrolling down to look for someone's house because of Divinity's Reach. That's so weird, isn't it? Like, maybe it is Mistburn, but it's like hyper-condensed Mistburn. It's like a magic that they've learned to wield as a serious weapon. So I think it could still be both, but it's like degrees of severity. And that feels fitting for the Massart, who, you know, have that mist heritage and so on. But you're right, maybe it's completely disconnected. And saying it's just straight up the same would be definitely wrong. So, Waiting Sorrow's house. Fading Aurora, as she's known to these people. Let's have a look here. She's like Gandalf, guys. She has many names. Okay, it's not here. The Lowland Coden call her Mithrandir. So I don't know. Was there interactables? Miss Byrne is just sparkling spectral agony. That's amazing. I know in a meta sense they obviously wanted a knowledgeable child to play against the Titans in history, but I'm curious if there is an in-character playoff. I mean, yeah, look, I'm not as obsessed with the malice topic as I think I come across. It's just, you know, it's been a thing to talk about as we go along. So, this is her house. She has some wine bottles. She has some bows. Ellie bow confirmed. Next expansion. She has a kitchen. A lot of this to me is just like... Wait, what was that? Did I just get a mail? Oh no, that was my otter infusion, I think. A lot of this is just... I'm looking at this thinking, oh, these will be decorations I can manipulate and move. But that cabinet definitely is. Why are there so many beds in her house? 3 beds? Were there a bunch of cubs she was close to? And she was like a sort of a mother to them. Oh, well, guys, to be honest, guys, I don't find it that interesting. I don't really know what there is for me to look at. It looks like just generic Lowland Coden assets. And they're pretty and whatever, but, you know. Is it Fading Aurora related? Oh, it's because she's the healer, so you think they come here because they're sick? Or maybe she assists in, like, childbirth? I'm thinking small beds. Maybe these are just, like, hospital beds. She runs it as an infirmary, you think? In her house? That wouldn't be a separate place, no. She lives at the hospital. This is a nurse's office. Okay. Baba Yaga. All right. Well, I mean, it's nice. I was expecting a lore bomb or something, based on that comment. I mean, okay. So there you go. So that's her house. No big clues here. There's my otter again. Lovely. Is one bed too soft, the other too hard, and the other just right? It is a little bit like that, isn't it, really? Okay. Next. Couple more, guys. This is it as well. I mean, this is quite melancholy, really, isn't it? This is the end of the series, the last of the questions. I read that Titan story with the child like a vision. Maybe there was a fissure in that location. They're talking about the young Char girl that saw the Titans. So it could have just been a vision. And yeah, it does feel a bit vision questy, doesn't it? Maybe there was a fissure in that location that made it possible to interact between different planes. On the other hand, it could have still just been Abaddon. Abaddon giving the Char hallucinations to make them free the Titans. I find that less of an appealing story. Yeah, I find it less appealing too, but it's valid. I really don't think that Titans could enter Tyria without some kind of gateway, or there are multiple origins of them. Yeah, and the thing is in Nightfall as well, isn't there a bunch of stuff about Abaddon's manipulating people's dreams and stuff? He's definitely got ways. He's definitely got tools. The thing is, it's quite a few years before Nightfall. But then he broke in at the Tomb of the Primeval Kings and stuff. The thing is, guys, to remember Lord Audrin... Lord Audrin, look, I've convinced myself that Guild Wars 3 is another world in the mists, and the very final story beat for this game will be Lord Audrin. You know, there's that thing about Lord Audrin goes through the rift, by the way, and the rift goes through time. They could even do a weird story about Audrin, where it's like, he's not born yet. He is from Tyria, but he's actually, his first journey through the mists, he went back to the future or the past, or they could do so many weird things with Lord Audrin. So yeah, and anyway, and I think it's a bit premature for Lord Audrin for now, but I think one day we'll get there. Anyway, he left a bunch of portals all over the place. Maybe a Titan snuck in through there. It feels like there were a lot of them though. And again, let's remember what's this other comment from you guys. The Seers, the Seer in Hell's Precipice. I wish to see this end. Over the aeons, much has changed in Tyria, but not the Titans. I mean, the Seers themselves there are saying, look, there are Titans around. They've been manufactured here, or they've found other holes. I don't think the Foundry of Failed Creations is the only one. And I'll tell you another thing as well, just to think in terms of, like, the product. ArenaNet have that kind of massive document with Lear talking about, oh yeah, we're going to go check if the Soul Flame's lit. We're going to go look at the Foundry of Failed Creation. That's huge. That's like worthy of a major adventure the Commander could go on. But they've basically just hand-waved it in a little message, which makes me think that that thread is going to come to nothing. Probably in 3 months, or 6 months, or 9 months, there'll be a little extension to that where they say, yeah, look, we went there, we checked it out. These Titans aren't from the Foundry. They're not from the Foundry, they're from somewhere else. They're native to Tyria or something. I think that's what they'll say, and that's why they're happy to do it in like little side lore and not put too much focus on it, because they know that the thread is coming to nothing. So yeah, that's kind of my guess right now, that they've got nothing to do with the Foundry, that they're pre-existing. This guy says, looking forward to the 14 series. Oh, sorry, I thought I only had lore things here. But WP, will you do some kind of introduction? Because personally, I've never played 14 before. I'm going to be so lost at the start. Yes. Look, if you know my Let's Plays, I will make it smooth, and I'll explain things, and it will be comfortable, and it will be fun. And can I just say as well, it is going to be a co-op series, guys. So you guys who come along live, we'll do the dungeons together. We will play it co-op. We'll level together. I think it'll be really fun. So anyone and everyone listening to my voice right now, you are invited to that series. And I will also say it doesn't cost anything. They have a free trial in that game. And I know it's easy to hear free trial and think, oh, it's going to be shit or whatever. It's amazing. I played the game for like a year, or just on the free trial. In my previous videos on it, you can check them out on WP2. I got to like the Stormblood expansion, and I had like hundreds of hours in the game. And you're not limited in any way except like anti-botting measures, like with the marketplace. A lot like with Guild Wars 2, but you get so much content, it's unreal. Because every time they add a new expansion, they add a previous one to the free trial. So it's literally, it is just download it. And you can give it a shot. Anyway, kind of a separate topic. By the way, oh god, there's a big topic I have about Twitch for you guys as well. We're kind of getting into the channel update here again. Let's finish these up so that I can get onto the quests. Okay, the ambience of Homerayan 41111 says, the one thing I was pleasantly surprised with when increasing my Renown Heart reputation was that it seemed the NPCs greeted me differently. The coding go from being mildly impressed with your efforts to totally recognizing you. At least I heard it from the cooking NPC and the furnace NPC. I wish other hearts were like that, but I imagine it would take a lot of work to apply it to core, for example. The crop NPC does it too, says Martin Akal. Said that name terrible, I did an extra A in there. I feel like you end up hearing more dialogue lines around the map, some of them change as well. The two bears around the frantic hummingbird area, I think, have a conversation. So I'm glad to hear that, guys. I have no experience with hearing new dialogue right now. I've done quite a few of these. Like, I haven't unlocked this repeatable shit here, but this, I'm on 6 out of 7, 8 out of... I'm on 6, 8, 3, 3, 5, 4. I've done a lot. I haven't seen any dialogue. So it sounds like it's just kind of casual, relaxed, chill, ambient dialogue. This will be something to reflect on in 3 months when the series comes back, and we can say whether there was any, like, really interesting stuff there. It sounds nice, and it's kind of an interesting feature, I guess. Bit of a whiff for me. I don't know. The idea of having them in core is amazing. A core Tyria overhaul kind of update that then adds some new systems. There I'm using that word I hate again, overhaul. But, like, adds this sort of stuff. I would kind of like... It would get a lot of hate, I think, though, straight away. I think people would say, oh, look at the grind they're adding. They're making me play the game. So, yeah. Next. We got a big one here. Big boy. Oh, yeah. So, this is Mandala. So, I don't know if you guys remember Mandala. I don't think we've put any of his comments up yet. Mandala, like, goes crazy. Like, with the connections and the walls of text. Like, actually fucking crazy. And I think, and I mean this with all niceness and, like, deference to you, and I think it's cool, and it's nice to be enthusiastic about the story, I think Mandala goes too far. A lot of the time. Way too far. But let's see what Mandala says this time. Alright, WP, since you're doing lore dives at the top of the videos, I got a fun theory for you. It has to do with the Forgotten. He says there's a bit of ambient dialogue from 2 elderly Coden on the Harvest Shore, and they mention having collected an assortment of shiny golden objects. Of particular note is they describe all of them as having a peculiar looking tree stamped on them. Now, this reminded me of some niche lore from the legendary armory description of Ad Infinitum. The armory features text from a fractal log, where some fractal researcher has been stranded in the fractals on a floating isle. And on the isle, the people call themselves Forgotten, and while the log's transmission starts to cut out, the researcher makes to point out mentions of trees. That's new info to me, by the way. I didn't notice any of that. That's really cool. So there's like some kind of like tree connection with the Forgotten. And so now in this expansion, there's definitely a golden connection with the Forgotten. So you get this golden objects with trees on them. So did Forgotten live here, basically, is where he's going with this. He says, in Secrets of the Obscure, you learn from the wizard Forgotten, Vars. You learn about Vars. She was the Forgotten, and how she was lost during the previous Cryptis incursion. That's what you can play in the Lonely Tower Fractal. Of significance to this theory, though, is her relic, the Relic of Vars. It has a tree. My theory, the areas of Janthir near the Lowland shore are ancient Forgotten territory. That's a cool idea, and it feels like, yeah, it is a hint about the Forgotten. He says, on its own, this connection might seem like a stretch, but there's a lot of supporting details from Janthir Wilds and Soto, whatever. And believe it or not, Heart of Thorns. For one, we have the Scale of Glint, which curiously found its way into the Cave Troll's position. As the race who cleansed Glint of their madness and their allegiance to Kralkatorrik, it would make sense for Forgotten to be around near the Scale. And I can imagine that, yeah, if Glint learns from the Flameseeker prophecies that the Massat are fated to die to the Titans, she goes to tell them, which I think she would, because we expressed this before, maybe she had an entourage of Forgotten with her. Don't forget, the Forgotten used to be everywhere, by the way. The lore is that they tended to huge amounts of the world, especially while the gods were here. And they just slowly receded. So, I mean, technically anywhere could be Forgotten territory. I don't know whether there's anything pointed we can get out of this, except that in the modern game, ArenaNet are talking about the Forgotten a little bit, and the question is why. He also says, additionally, Waiting Sorrow and Vast seem to be interconnected in previously underappreciated ways. We know from the Codan Ashmakers that the Lowland Codan at some point split apart, and many of them were called to Ore. In Secrets of the Obscure, we find Isgaren's bedroom in a weathered letter from Vast, where she mentions visiting Ore with Waiting Sorrow. To even further cement their connection and relevance in this theory, the journal Frode borrowed from Isgaren tells of Waiting Sorrow's past, and Ascension mentions that after roaming for a while, she returned to Isgaren and the wizards with Vast. Could Janthir be the location where they initially crossed paths, back when it was a dwelling for the Forgotten? I mean, maybe. But yeah, Waiting Sorrow and Vast were close. Waiting Sorrow was like Vast's apprentice. With that whole thing about how the tower likes Waiting Sorrow most, and is that Isgaren stuff, and why was Isgaren so pissed off? You know, Waiting Sorrow was closest with Vast, really, and then Darda later. And the Secrets of the Obscure collection you started on Forgotten Lore in Ore is assembling components to restore a powerful weapon associated with Vast, the Spire of the Forgotten. And what does it have you do? Roam around Ore collecting memories. Coincidentally, one of them is the relic. It's not a coincidence, they are all relics. An even deeper cut takes us way back to Heart of Thorns, where in the Bastion of the Penitent we learn of Saul's fate and the prison he was kept in. Of note, there seems to be a serpentine prisoner there, mostly likely forgotten. Yeah, it is a Forgotten, surely. And what regional terrier is the closest to the Lowland shore? The Bastion of the Penitent. So yeah, maybe they got forgot, but I don't know whether that's really a knowing detail or connection. I'm not sure what the plans are for Janthir Wilds, but I think it's interesting that a part of the puzzle-like environmental storytelling, or I could be overthinking it. Sorry for the long comment. No, I think maybe you're overthinking it a little bit, but what you've really beautifully pointed out, basically at the start, really, is they're talking about the Forgotten a lot in all of this. And mostly through my Let's Play here, I've not really talked about the Forgotten. But I think it's a really good comment and a good point from you that we should probably think about them a bit. And that tree detail is new to me. The music during this reading is a banger. Yeah, I've been listening to it here. World Singer says, I'm ready for the WP fanfiction. I actually have an idea I've been chewing on for a couple of years about writing some discovered journal entries from Lady Althea that detail her life pre-post Searing and through her captivity leading up to her death. I have it plotted out in my mind, but in concept I'd write it fairly contained snippets like the lore pages we find in game. Yeah, I think that's, don't they call them coders? Isn't that what it is? I also have a little story in mind about the Char who discovers it, but I'll not go that far. Yeah, I think Althea is a really good subject for that as well, if you're going to do little snippet fan fiction-y things like that. Because she's got an amazing story. It's very tragic and sad, but almost none of it is told. It's all like it's an important story as well, like the wedding, the union of Adalbern's house with Baradins and all that shit, but you basically just have to infer all of it. There's no real detail. So yeah, I would be keen on that. I think that would be a cool idea. Oh, look, the squad I joined for the meta event is now totally empty, guys. So there you go. That's the last Q&A section for now. This series, of course, will be back in 3 months. And hopefully we won't have forgotten everything at that point, and we can dig deep and have fun with it. There's obviously not a new map in 3 months, so I'm actually really excited about the story in 3 months, guys, because I really love the Lion's Arch stuff. I like the core stuff, and I kind of like this map. So I'm happy to circle back to all those locales. If they give us a good amount, I'm just nervous it's going to be too short. We'll see what lessons they learned from Secrets of the Obscure. But I'm hopeful it will be alright. Chat has pointed out the exclusive Orion painting in Sorrow's house. Probably only a hindsight clue, but it's interesting. Oh, I see. So in Sorrow's house, there was a painting. One of the concept art pieces was of ore, was it? Well, there you go. There's your next thing about her. Hint about her trip to ore with Vast there. Well, there you have it. Okay, so so let's jump in now to some side quests. So the Lowland Wisps found in the small book. Now in the previous part. Let me actually open wiki here. Hold on, guys. 1 second. In the previous part, I said that I was going to do these wisps off screen. But when I was playing last night, I was thinking, was there any need for that? There's only a couple of them. And it is content after all. So we may as well do it. And we can just chat about stuff as we do it. So let's go for it. Now, they're all still, by the way, in the Lowlands. I don't think there's a Tale of the Highland Wisps. I thought, just like with the Getting the Crew Back Together quest, we would now be in the next map. But we're not. It's all still just here. Which is fine. So this Wisp is over here. So let's get going. And let's move in. Now, let me look at the live chat again. God, you love the dance event music. You hope they add new dances from Dancing Volume and put it on the gem store. Yeah, isn't it the same song as you would hear with the Choya? Or is it a different song? Mordy says, considering we can clearly see the budget go down from map location to map location Janthir Wilds already, I'm a little scared for the next maps they had. I think you're thinking about that wrong. I don't think that's right. I think it was all developed at once from the same pocket of money, and I think they were a little bit savvy about it, and they said, let's front load it. I think they said, it's okay to have the second map be a little bit more bare bones, but let's make sure the first map is as big and as detailed. Because you're right, there's a huge quality difference between the two maps. There is a huge quality difference. But I don't think it's like... They don't make the content in the order that you play it. You know, I don't think that they put a fuck ton of work into this and then said, oh shit, and... No, I think it was planned for. And so I think probably the next two maps we'll get as well were also in that. I think they would have put more effort in. I think basically, okay, look, if I was ArenaNet, I have limited time, limited money, I'm making the expansion, and I know that we might be skimping a little bit somewhere. Where do I pick that skimping? The post-patch stuff for Secrets of the Obscure was not very good, and people weren't enjoying it. So I think they say, well, look, I'm going to focus the fuck out of this map. And they've even ended up splitting in half, right, basically. We're really going hard on this, because these have to sustain people. These have got to be big releases. And then they're also thinking, well, the expansion's got to start feeling impressive as well. What's the best map to skimp out on, if you're going to? Probably this one. That's what I... Maybe, look, call it Copium, whatever. You can do that if you like. That's what I think probably is going on. Of course, the announcement that they're splitting the post patches into 2 full maps instead of just 1 is also kind of interesting, because that's quite new. But it sounds like a better plan to me as well. I don't know. We'll have to play it. I can't guess how good it will all feel. But it looks like the post patches this time are better to me, because, you know, the next one's only in 10 weeks. The gap between expansion launch and the first is always the smallest, because there's so much actually to play in the expansion. I mean, look at me. I know we're on the last episode here, but I'm still playing Janthir Wilds. We're right at the arse end of it, but... So, you know, the wait doesn't feel so bad. So then that first patch doesn't need to be so meaty. And that's where, look, they've got all the long-term grind objectives and the raiders coming in, the convergence and stuff. Then people are going to feel really starving for it with patch 2, and you get a whole map. And then another whole map. It looks good to me, like the way that they have it plotted out. I don't know. Better than Secrets of the Obscure. Where it's like a fragment of the map, and then a fragment of a map, and then a fragment of a map. And I think lots of map exploration is important. It's important to me. The more of Tyria we get to canvas and run around and explore, the better. Because it's a large part of what I think it makes the expansions fun. But I mean, some of those post Secrets of the Obscure patches were so. Ugh. Lest we not forget, they weren't very good. But part of it as well was the story they tried to tell wasn't too great, and blah blah blah. I don't know. Okay, search on the cliffs above the fishing village. Next. It's funny, actually. We could have done this first. It might have been slightly more efficient. I say the camp will be updated like the one in Nios, and it will give more ways to complete the heart here. Oh, what, with the next patch? You think they'll update the hearts here on this map? That's an interesting idea. This is a bit better, by the way, having Twitch chat on my main screen. Not Twitch chat, YouTube chat on my main screen. While I have Wiki over on the other monitor. It feels a lot less stressful. It's a lot easier to stream like this. By the way... Oh, I hope this... Have I had any donations or anything? Because I might have missed them. Does this chat actually show that? Hopefully it does. I don't know. Speaking of Twitch... I think I'm about to disappoint some people. I am 99% sure that I'm not doing Twitch. At least at the start. Oh my god, I can swiftness the Wisp. Of the FF14 series. So there's like a lot going on here. Like, I can stream to both. There's like a lot of aggro, and I have to like unify the chats, and it's gonna feel weird. And at the end of the day... Okay, so... Oh god, there's so much to talk about. Oh yeah, I super speed people with a 4 on this as well now. When I did the Final Fantasy series before on Twitch, we had like loads of emotes and the redemptions. There's a lot of cool social features on there, and people ended up having a lot of fun with it. And it was kind of cool, and you know, we were building the sub points, but there ended up being a lot of conversation about just like that live spectacle stuff, really. And that's not the kind of content I really want to make, guys. As good as that series is, I don't think those VODs are that good to watch in the future. I'd rather, like this, what I've done with Janthir Wilds here, I think is really good. People are actually able to go back and watch these videos. Obviously, the live component's been a thing with it, but this is a workable series forevermore. And like, I can tell already, people are going back there watching. There are comments on the VODs, if you want to call them that. Like, I really like the balance that I've got here. I like the quality that I've got here with YouTube and all that. So, I definitely... So, the 14 series is 100% going to be on YouTube, just like this. It's going to be a proper playlist on my main channel that people can watch. It's going to be a Let's Play on YouTube right here, like this, that's going up live. However, the question of, do I really want to then go to all this other shit to do the Twitch stuff so that people can meme around and post a bunch of emotes and stuff? And it's fun and all that. But I think, you know, like, the question is, do I really... Am I a Twitch streamer? Do I really care to build up a massive Twitch audience? The answer is no. The answer is that once I've done the FF14 playthrough, I don't have any other live plans for a while. Not immediately. I do ultimately, but not immediately. Like, I'm not trying to... Like, it's the kind of thing you would do if you're going to say, all right, look, from now on, 5 days a week or whatever, I'm going to be, or every other day, I'm going to be on Twitch. Twitch is a thing for me. Twitch isn't really a thing for me, and I don't know how much I really like live streaming, guys. It really stresses me out. It properly stresses me out. I think it's good, and I like having a live chat, and I like that connection, I like the community feel, and I like how easy it is. This is so fucking lazy and easy, it's unreal. So for, like, big games, MMOs, massive games... Like this, like 14 would be, like I want to go to Elder Scrolls Online at some point. I want to sample their MMOs and play them. I think that the live stuff is really good. But is it that I'm trying to build a massive platform on Twitch? I don't know. So it's kind of like, what's the point in doing the whole restream thing over there like, and the thing is as well, I don't want to shift a shit ton of the conversation all the time over to stuff that only matters the very first playthrough. So basically, I don't think it's worth it. It will be a live series. It will be just like this. It's going to be just like this with Janthir Wilds. I don't really see the point of going into the massive, like, restreaming thing. For the start, at least. There's so much I've set up and I've got to do for the playthrough anyway. So I think for the beginning, as we progress, I might introduce Twitch. I'm not saying no, never, but right now, I'm not that interested in that side of the stuff. By the way, there should be a Wisp here somewhere. Did I do it already? So those are kind of my thoughts. Really, this is the channel update that I'm giving you here. And I'll have this all a bit more coherent and explained out. I think the channel update will be tomorrow. I also had a problem, by the way. I put up the penultimate episode of... Oh, it's down. It's really low. That's cool. I put up FF6's penultimate episode, but I have an editing issue in it where some screenshots that I took... We're not on the footage because I think I've deleted them, so I'm gonna have to go resource them. There's basically like a 5-minute sequence in the episode that's broken, so I pulled that offline. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna re-upload that, and then it'll be the channel update probably. But yeah, basically it's going to explain that the 14 series is the next thing, and we're gonna keep leapfrogging Let's Plays. It will go Zeus FF or Zeus MMO, Zeus MMO, Zeus MMO, Zeus MMO. And so, yeah, like, I'll stop, because, seriously, it's just the channel update. But that's my thinking, since I mentioned Twitch there. I'm just not that interested in going back and setting all that up right now. I mean, I can do pretty much everything I need to do here on YouTube. It just doesn't have the wacky community features, you know? But the quality's brilliant, and it's integrated so well. Like, someone watching my Zeus Let's Play right now, if they turn on the video, they have a notification saying, by the way, WP's live on this. Like, I love that shit. That's so cool. So, yeah. Full Metal Alchemist is meh. Surely that means you haven't seen Brotherhood. I have. I'm talking about the newer, abridged version of it. The one everybody thinks is amazing. I'd give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. I'd say it's like an 8 or 9 early on. But it's so, like, I don't know, there's... Anime is very, like, overstated and very loud and very in your face and very, like, I don't know. Like, if they lean into it, really hard lean into it, like My Hero Academia does, then I can kind of enjoy it in a pulpy way. But people talk about FMA like it's high art, and it's not. It's got some nice little wriggles in there, but yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I don't hate the show. Oh, donations do work. Okay, thank you. $5, thank you, from P? Is your name really just P? I really think the live play on release and then 1 year later revisit playthrough. Oh, you really think the live play on release and then 1 year later revisit playthrough combo you've had going? You like that? I only remember doing that once. I did that with End of Dragons, and I don't remember doing that with anything else. Last Wisp here now, guys. What I especially like as well about the YouTube stuff here, with not only the VODs beautifully integrated without me having to fuck around or juggle it on a second channel where a bunch of people won't see it and all that kind of stuff, but I can put, like Corey, I don't know if Corey's watching or listening right now, has been dropping all these amazing timestamps. So people who watch this series, this VOD, they can just skip around. If there's just boring chitter-chat about Twitch or whatever, like literally right now, someone can just use the chapter timestamp to skip through it. This is really good. Like I just don't see the need to juggle Twitch stuff. It feels like the kind of thing that you do just because lots of people are still doing Twitch, or because it's like what you started doing back in 2012 or whatever. But you don't really have to. Yeah, the revisit thing. I think I did that with End of Dragons, didn't I? I played End of Dragons blind on release, and then I did a replay later. Replays I'm a bit iffy about. If I was going to replay anything at this point, it would be Guild Wars 1, actually. I think I could do it. I think a new series on Guild Wars 1 would feel substantially different. My voice is completely different. I'm basically a different fucking person, apparently. What I need to be is really nervous and, like, I don't know. I don't know why my accent was so much stronger in that series. Anyway, and the things that I would want to talk about and focus on and stuff, and the video quality and so that's a replay. Final Fantasy 14, I'm not really keen. What I like is one massive series. I'm not gonna like keep going back through that over and over and over again though, because it's a huge game. Like, well, actually, I say that I've got it plotted out, and I know how many episodes it is, and it's not that wild, to be honest. So there should be a wisp. I've messed this up. I'm not at the right tree. I think, we're looking for a tree with another tree. Is it over? And we're looking for a POI. Some kind of a POI in a rock. Oh, maybe it's not at the edge of the map, actually. Oh, is this it? No? Wow. How can I not see this thing? Lowland Wisps 12. Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's not on the edge of the map. The wiki screenshot is cropped here. So, and that looks like that looks ill-defined enough that would be off the map. By the way, guys, have you noticed? Oh, they're not here. I keep seeing guildies up here in the water here. Is this where the homestead is printing your icon? It is cool to look at the map. Like this island I was talking to Kerry about. This island, like it's a whole continent. Battle Isles mini X-Pack. Drowned Kaineng. All the Dashka hints, obviously. We're getting attacked, apparently. Oh god, am I still on my healing build? I am, so I'm just going to run, actually. You would watch the hell out of me playing Guild Wars 1 again? I was so close to doing something earlier in this year. I really was. I still have a huge fucking script. A massive, massive script of what I'd like to see from skill balance. I also have a massive, massive script reviewing the entire Guild Wars 2 story that I did in the middle of this Let's Play. I'm sitting on, like, so much fucking text. There's a weird thing, though, where it's like, I feel like it was just cathartic enough to write it down. I don't actually have to release it to the internet. Which is just, that's not being very good at my job, really. That's, I think, what's happened with both of those. Like, once I've fully got it written, it's like, ugh, do I really have to speak that into the microphone? Look, it's there. But yeah, I was very, very, very into Guild Wars 1 earlier this year. Will I be playing DPS, healer, or tank in FF? You can also play it native with a controller. I have all of that planned out. What classes I play and all that shit. It's planned out, and it will be exciting, and it will be fun, and I think you guys will like what I've got planned. I will also say a lot of it is, as far as classes, I guess I'll just say this here. I'm going to be playing classes on the streams, on the Let's Play, that I have never played before. So I'll be blind on them, so there will be discovery, there will be fun, and there will be, oh fuck, I can do this, and oh, so there will be, I've kept myself in the dark about several things. So we will see. I will feel very fresh for both of us. You guys watching and for me. I've kind of set it up that way, because A Realm Reborn's not very good, alright? So you kind of need it to have a bit of discovery and magic. Which you guys will see. I mean, it's good in some ways, it's terrible in others. And a massive Pokemon review. That's true as well, yeah. I mean, and that's the biggest of them all. I mean, that doesn't even compare. The Pokemon... I've described this before, and I cringed at describing it this way. And I kind of cringe... I'm going to do it again, though. The Pokemon review is more like a book. It's very long. It's like a chapter of text and information about each season. It's a review of, like, 25 years of television. It's long as fuck. I feel really weird about that project, though, now, because it's like, it's just... That was me 2 years ago. I might not feel the same now. WP announces fun. Oh, well, you're sold. Yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna... it becomes a great game. I mean, the real challenge with that Let's Play is that, yeah, it's... Famously, that game sucks until it gets good. And it is that thing, and this is not necessarily a good argument to give people, but it is a thing of, like, you have to grit your teeth through the lamer bits. But I also think it depends how you tackle the product. Like how slow you go, how into it you get. I think, look, guys, I would not do a Let's Play that I think is going to be unentertaining. I think I've got a really good plan. I think I'm going to show it off in a really good way, and I'm really excited to play it. So, don't you worry about that, hopefully. Alright. Search the springs where water flows on half rings. So, we're actually quite close to the springs here at the moment. That's a lovely little poem, isn't it? Is it a smash or pass review of Pokemon? What does that mean? Smash or pass? Is that where someone just does like a one-line review? Janthir Wild, smash or pass? Smash. Secret Obscure, smash or pass? Pass. Dragonstorm, smash or... Is that it? 14 sucks until the Hildebrand quest. For people that don't know, Hildebrand quest is like the getting the gang together thing in this. It's like mostly comic relief, lighthearted, kind of fun. I gotta be honest, I did loathe... When I very first played that, I loathed it, and I've not gone back to this day. Since you're planning to do a Janthir Wild State of the Game review, would you consider playing Push to experience it? In my opinion, it scratches the more casual itch like League ARAM. It's not playable anymore anyway, is it? No, I'm seriously uninterested in Push. I think the entire concept is bad, so it just won't appear in the review. I mean, I'll mention that I've got vague ideas of what I'm going to say in the review already, and I am going to talk a bit about PvP in it, but mostly just to explain why I'm not that interested, which is stuff I've already talked about in this LP here. I like this. We're progging an event while burying the bodies. We managed to tag him with some super speed again there. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this Wisp meta I missed with my combo. WPX rocket powered Mohawk. Is that someone who does smash or pass reviews? WP is playable right now. Again, it doesn't really change the fact that I'm not going to be playing it. I'm a gem of innocence. What? Well, I know you could say that about, like, you know, someone you want to shag. I know you could say smash or pass in that way, but I assumed it was a bit deeper than that. That it had filtered into game reviews in some way. Do not corrupt my innocent mind. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll Google it now. Well, not now. Once this is over. Maybe I will. Jesus, the wisps are long. It's like we're going back to that other torch that we were at earlier. No, so that's it. Oh, well, come on, guys. That's not that crazy or lewd, is it? Jesus. Alright. Meet with Stalwart Heart at Bagu Cave. Oh, shit. I fat-fingered the Windows key. Hit left control, which is my dodge key. And we went over the cliff. Further away from the cave, which is where we really wanted to go. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Jesus. Whoa, did you guys see that? I installed Windows Power Tools today. Because I was messing around with some always-on-top stuff. And, I think it's created like a find your mouse thing, which is turning on and off every now and then when I press control. I'm going to have to go into the settings and figure it out. But by the way, Power Tools is amazing. You guys should definitely check it out. Okay, hello Wayfinder. You've made it just in time. Yes, and I brought some more information, and I'm going to remember to unmute the dialogue before we start. Look at this.
But what are they exactly?
Their sense of smell is stronger than yours.
She says that is
You'll need to use your
unknown,
chain
though
to
many
pull
believe them
levers to
a
open more
link
gates.
between realms.
Don't even try to bash
So
them
those
open
able
like
to
a
see
clam.
them are revered.
Keep moving. Speed is essential to
Being
success.
graced by a visit
Think you
from
can
the
match
King
our
Wisp
best?
is the
Let's
highest
see
honor.
what you're made of.
It is akin to a voice beholding Coda in your tribes. Ask her more about this King Wisp.
To
Where is he?
your
How
marks.
does one secure a meeting?
Go!
Itoe lo tui igui, analiki go potui. Sia bui te noi ujebe. Du te balegi. But the bakeling Joe sat by maybe. Ingo to
Oh, it keeps
Zage.
going.
She says that is for the king to decide. Rumors say he dwells in a cave near Harvest Den.
Taduki onje bata. Inke lo rote. Nue no make ina ne baby galadoi. Iso wala broken anya.
And that she tires of your incessant questions and will refrain from answering anything further. Well, it's something to go on, I suppose. And do you believe in this king? He exists, though I've never seen him, I am certain. A mere chance to lay eyes on him is well worth your while. Very well. Wayfinder, I'll need you to keep investigating. We might be closer to a breakthrough than we realize. Who knows? Maybe the king will feel like making an appearance.
Well, you know, this is 1,000 times more interesting just because we have the two Coden with us. Of the, you know, the Lowland and the Highland one. Also, the troll, there you go. You got a bit of the real troll dialogue there. It's much better than the one I did yesterday. Okay, so yeah, let's go find the King Wisp, I guess. I don't really know if there's much deep... not everything needs to prompt some massive, insane rant. Lore rant. I think that, you know, this is just a fun thing about a Wisp. I've really put my foot in my mouth there. It's going to turn out that this is like... this is the key to the whole story right here, guys. Yes, also, you can't focus, Mike, on the side quest for the stupid event. Yeah, I'm resigned to it at this point. I mean, how often has that happened in this series? I feel like what I would love for, like, Guild Wars storytelling is, like, a cinematic lock-on when NPCs are speaking. A return or use somewhat of maybe side-by-sides. A little ... telegraph so that I know when more dialogue is coming. Or when it's actually over. And some kind of, like, volume culling for other dialogue when you're listening to an NPC next to you. Right? Like, that should be dynamically lowering that volume there. And so that's, like, some storytelling infrastructure I'd love for the game. But the question is... do they really think it's worthwhile? Especially if they're making a Guild Wars 3 or something. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. We got a Wisp. Like depth of field for sound. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Like when you're in Shroud, everyone gets a little bit quiet, right? Because you're supposed to be in the... it's just that exact same kind of thing. And it's funny. It's a problem Guild Wars has because it goes so hard with the voice acting, you know? WP, why do you think ArenaNet uses fractals for group end PvP and not do some harder dungeons on the world map? Why do they shy away from making entering group PvE feel more organic? I think a lot of things have ended up happening because of lack of forethought, lack of long-term planning, and it's just kind of by accident. Oh, this! Kerry found this the other day. Remember when I was in this on the Let's Play? This waterfall cave? There's a secret area up here. Oh, and a Wisp teaches you about it. She just found it on her own. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's just this massive hidden place here. I meant to talk about this in the episodes as well, and I kept forgetting to. Oh, come on, no. Oh, please tell me it's not going to go away. I suppose it's just sky scaled the whole time. Look at this. There's like a hidden room up here. Oh, and the Wisp takes you here. That makes sense. That's so cool. The King Wisp is here. He says, come closer. Oh my god. Hello? I can bow to him. Wow, this is interesting. My kin seem to favour you, and I can see why. I love that when they do these kinds of dialogue boxes. You have done well to find us. My thanks to you for keeping my kin company. I hope you found it as much benefit in it as I have. Did he say it as I have? I didn't read it. Like when Greer and Decima are speaking and it's the big one in the middle. Okay. Thank you. So they just sort of show me this nice little cave area. Oh, I can interact. Can I interact with all of them? Or just the one? Can interact with this one as well. Do I interact with them in order or something, maybe? Have you guys ever played Kana, Bridge of Two Souls or whatever? You get all these like, little animated forest sprites that run around with you. It's really cool. Oh, well, okay, so let's see here. I think we're done now. We're just going to go report that the king is real. Near Loch Lucent. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think we're going to go past the lock over here. And that's the quest done. But yeah, hidden area, amazing. And also, by the way, I'll point out too, that this room, I thought that this was just a giant waterfall. And I remember I said, oh, how the hell do they get in here? Like, because it's kind of isolated and crazy. But there is actually just a path. Like, over here. And you can tell from the frothing water splashing onto that there. So, yeah. Yeah, but so the fractal thing, why do they do fractal? I don't think fractals are particularly fit for purpose. I think when I think about new people coming into Guild Wars, I think dungeons hold so much value, even as just like single story things. Again, when you go through the FF14 thing with me, oh my god, you'll see just how strong they are for fun storytelling and interesting pace breakers and stuff. It's nice, and Guild Wars doesn't have it, but you got to be very careful and clever about how you let people matchmake and group up and do things. You know what I was actually thinking about with Guild Wars that would be really nice is I was doing world bosses. Like I did my Wizard's Vault, Auric Basin. I needed to do the Tyria meta this week, so to actually finish the vault. And it occurs to me there's kind of this thing where you just go boss, 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 boss in order. I'm going way too there. We should go over here. Taking way too long with that. It would be nice to have a bit more infrastructure around the world boss train and like building players towards it, and I don't know. So I'm getting really muddled with all the things I want to say. Basically, I feel like fractals and dungeons, if they just add random dungeons in, there's a risk that they'll become like dead content. People won't go there, so they need some kind of infrastructure to wrap around them. And when you look at fractals, that's what fractals are. They're an infrastructure to wrap around dungeons. Each fractal island is essentially a dungeon. And in fact, they branded them as fractal dungeons when they first came out. So I feel like the better thing to do is to take fractals as they are and kind of tweak them into just kind of a broader dungeon idea and just push players into that. But yeah. Well, I'm talking about a big thing here. I've talked about it in many videos over many times, but I'm speaking way too vaguely about it here. Head Archivist, Stalwart Heart. Knowing your reputation for thorough work, Wayfinder, if you've returned to us, that can only mean one thing. I've found them. Oh, no dialogue? Thank you again for all you've done. Not only did you allow me to learn more of the Wisps, you helped connect me with a new friend. Oh, yeah, look. So this is 2 instances now where the different types of Coden are hanging out with one another. That's quite nice. Now, this is kind of cool as well, guys. That was my last achievement for this map's mastery. So look at that. I get the precursor, and I actually set this up last night specifically to do this. I did a bunch of achievements, nothing that's that notable to talk about, but I did it such that the final thing I would do when I beat these side quests is I'm getting the precursors. So here we now have the precursor backpack, Standing Stone's timepiece, and here's how it looks. And it's got like different colors on it. One's blue or pink. Well, one's blue, one's reddy pink. I thought it looked white before as well, which is weird. But there you go. So the Standing Stone's timepiece is done. We get a spare mastery point for the next patch. And then this next one, I believe, Build-a-Quaggan, we'll do this now. This will get me my achievement for Janthir Century. Pretty sure Build-a-Quaggan is on there. Oh, it doesn't look like it is, actually. But this might be an adventure for me to do in there. Damn, Build-a-Quaggan isn't on there. Ah, we might not get this precursor then. Because I'm not sure how many of these I can just quickly, easily grab. But this would have been the Bearkin Warhelm, which is used... I don't know whether this is technically you can consider it a precursor, but it's used in the crafting of legendaries as well. Right, well, let's get Build-a-Quaggan going. So, speak with Chili Tan. You might be able to find her at the Forager's Hut. Gather weavable plant fibers. Some say they only grow near rivers that run with blood. Now, I've been seeing these for days now on this map. There's loads of plants near the graveyard where you see the Masark ghost telling the White Mantle to sacrifice other White Mantle. It's not just random innocents, but they were actually killing other White Mantle too. So let's go up this way. Sorry, oh my god, chat wasn't scrolling there for me. You still see new players trying to do dungeons and being excited for them? Yeah, look, I'm a big dungeon fan. I think for many years I wasn't. There have been lots of iterations of WP that have said, what's the point or whatever, but I think that they're good. I don't know whether the whole story dungeon, then 3 explorable editions really worked out. It's a good idea. Like, I think very clearly back to their original communications about dungeons and how endgame would be structured, and you'd have the tokens that would guarantee you'd get the loot even if you missed out on it and all that shit. I think there's still a lot of really good ideas. So, look, these plant fibers, we want to grab these. Wait, but how? Also, I'm going to go back to this Celestial build because random shit is going to keep attacking me, and if I'm ever in combat... Well, I can't gather from that. Let's try and gather from this. Oh, is it possible I already gathered from that one? Oh, there you go. 2 out of 6 plants. Like, I still think there's good ideas. ArenaNet didn't quite nail it on launch and then just sort of abandoned it. Is the game in a place now, though, where all this is really ever going to happen? I don't know. I doubt it. Find some form of stuffing. Gendaran Fields is Tyria's largest producer of wool. Oh my god, we're going all over the place with this. Interesting. Okay, well, let me build a wagon. Let me put this up on Wiki. Wiki has been so useful over this playthrough. Okay, so apparently... if we go to the Province Shore, this is near the crypt. Actually, it's near the Vigil Keep, really, actually. There's a precursor backpack. Did I accidentally delete something? Well, I'm sure they'll allow you to buy it again. It's the standing stone. It's what you just saw me get from the meta achievement from the first map. So, apparently up here... wow. There's a farmer sitting here. Hello. You need something? Are these your sheep? Yeah, these are mine. You wouldn't believe how much of a demand. Oh god, I clicked that too quick. Do you think you could spare some wool? Sure, but I'm wiped out for the day. Work's over. If you want some wool, you have to shear the sheep yourself. Okay. Extra fluffy longhorn sheep. I think it occurs to me that we don't actually have sheep in this game. Well, there we go. We need 5 of them. Oh, there's some over here. Okay, good. Wow, we're getting AP every step. This is worth a lot of AP. Find a mechanical frame. Where might inventors gather? My instinct on this actually was to go to the Black Citadel, but it's actually the it's Ratasum. So I would have been wandering around here. It looks... oh god, the Ratasum maps are obviously hard to read because they go all over the place. But it looks like it might be here.
The next generation of Earth movers.
We may need them at the reactor sites.
God, I get such hardcore nostalgia in these places. With this music and the original voice actors and all that stuff. Here, I can see the objective below us. Should we try and fly in? Through the window. Ho ho, look at that. Wow. Hello, Raylon. It's finished! It's complete! My mechanical frame! Your what? My mechanical frame! It allows a puppet to hold its shape indefinitely. Quite an achievement, if you ask me. Could it work for a stuffed animal? Yes, I don't see why not, and lucky for you, I have a backup prototype. But I don't know if you're worthy of it. What do I need to do? If you can answer my riddles correctly, well, I'll give you my prototype. If not, it remains with me. Sure, why not? This creature is amphibious and friendly, but fearsome when enraged. They much prefer open waters over being caged. What are they? They're a quaggan. I'm a city of great size and repute. Throughout the land, I am known. I'm also a hub of trade and commerce, and at my center sits a great throne. What am I? Well, Divinity's Reach. There's no throne in Lion's Arch. I'm a dragon of power. This isn't really even a riddle. This is just like, do you know a little bit of the lore? This is great, though. I'm a dragon of power, terror, and grand cosmic scale. I have a fondness for crystal, and the mere sight of me turns mortals pale. Who am I? You're Kraukatoric. Well, I'll be. You answered every one of them correctly. Here, enjoy your frame. And say, I have a mechanical brain to go along with it, if you're interested. Thanks, but no thanks. I like how there's some creepy mad science shit right in there towards the end. Speak with Coding Cubs to learn about popular toys. Wow. Okay. Back up to the lock, actually. We're going like here or something. Looks like you deleted the backpack. Is the spear precursor also available? And perhaps I deleted that as well. If so, what was it reward for? Well, there's the helmet. I don't know whether that builds into the spear ultimately or what. I don't know. This is all for in 10 weeks, really, isn't it?
They're battering bridges faster than I'm able to repair them. Wayfinder, if you scavenge...
Yeah, Wiki says you can buy more, but doesn't state the cost. I mean, it's not going to cost much, guys. They're not going to punish people for accidentally deleting shit. I like the sudden undercurrent of panic about that. Oh, all the cubs are here. I wasn't sure I was going to build any legendaries this X-Pack, but I really might go for the backpack. What do you want? I'd like to know what toys are cool in the village right now. Toys? Pfft, I'm too old for those. Are you sure about that? Well, there is this one that has wings. It's kind of cool, but don't tell anyone I said that. Your secret's safe with me. Do you have any snacks? No, but I want to know what your favourite toy is. Snacks? No. My favourite toy, I like this one my paw made for me. It's got wings and it makes a funny noise when you press it. Do other cubs also like that toy? Oh yeah, they're always asking to borrow it, but it's mine, all mine. Don't worry, I won't take it from you. So, what, are we going to give this Quaggan wings? That's the common thing so far. Hi, Outlander! What kind of toys are popular around here? All kinds. My brother likes the one with wings. I like the ones that squeak. It feels like they're talking to you. Wings and squeaks, got it. Hey, why do you want to know this stuff anyway? I'm on a very important mission. I am. We're in the midst of a Titan crisis, but this is just as important. Shit, did I get them all, or is there one hiding around somewhere? No. There's one somewhere. Maybe in a room. I don't see anyone there. High cost will teach people a good lesson to read things before they delete them. You can't be serious. Inventory management is a nightmare enough, let alone having fucking random mines in there where if you accidentally delete the wrong thing, you're fucked. The game is full of aggravating, annoying, useless shit that you might get into the habit of deleting out. I don't blame anyone who deleted it. And it's also rich and easy to say when I'm sitting here with, you know, hundreds of bag slots, but not everyone has that privilege either. Annoying inventory management is one of the quickest things to get me to burn out of an RPG. And Guild Wars is kind of a bit for monetizing it in a way. Anyway, what's your favorite kind of toy? I like butterflies. Okay, I'm making a toy for someone. What should I put on that? Wings. Wings are cool. I wish I could fly. One time I tried to make my stuffy fly and it fell in the lake. Ma yelled at me. Wow. Good to know, and I'm sorry about your stuffy. Can I recover it for you? No, apparently not. Okay, Build-a-Quaggan Cubs is done now. So now we need to find a small pair of wings. Check the hinterlands, where flying things are born. Eh? In Harathi hinterlands, which is interestingly close, actually. We're going to go visit the harpies in the hinterlands, I guess? These cubs just want to fly. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's a little bit sinister, actually, I would say. That's weird having the Living World Season 1 icon there for an Aether Blade cache. Like, I'm glad he was talking about a stuffed toy there and not anything else. You figure the Scrit in the Ghetto Cave might have more things if you loot them, but the Infusion costs 100 gold and 50 hectares. I mean, Infusions, I think, are a sort of a special case where they are. I think if you've lost random components, yes, they'll get... You don't have to panic. I mean, come on, guys. We're over a decade into this game. These are the perfect size for a stuffed animal. This item has no value outside of his collection. Do you know what? That's the Nightwing, not Nightwing, what's it called? What were the shoulders? A really amazing shoulder piece hidden in Heart of Thorn's launch. Night Fury, that was it. Oh yeah, it was technically part of Halloween. It was like a really expensive Mystic Forge recipe. I look back on that very fondly. It's funny actually, yeah, that first Halloween was kind of a big part of launch HOT for me. Find a Squeaker. A new merchant in one of Tyria's largest cities might have one of these for sale. A new merchant. The largest city that we're talking about is Divinity's Reach. And the Merchant's Row right on the entrance here. Apparently there's a guy standing there. Look at how good this area looks.
I can hear wedding trumpets already.
Jesus, that person. Princess Panic. Oh, that's like an actual legit new player, look. Ellie in original default Ellie clothes. At level 10, not downscaled, actually level 10. Just started and still at the point where they're like... Oh, I can buy cotton candy. Oh, it hurts my feelings a little bit. So, see some of this cool shit and be like, I will never interact with any of it. Curious merchant. You there, you look like a world traveller. Fancy a quick chat? Sure, why not? Splendid. Like I said, you look like you've been far and wide. You wouldn't happen to have any of these Ursus obliges to share, would you? I'm not going to give you money for nothing. No, of course not. I'd give you something in return. How about this squeaking device? First of its kind, makes lovely noises when grabbed. Okay, I'm interested. So I was warned about this. Someone said you have to spend loads of them, but I've got over 1,000 at this point, so... So there's 20 Ursus obliges for the Squeaker. It squeaks softly when squeezed, I think that said. Choose a rock for a heart. These can be found where the hills echo and the current carries the saltiest water. So we're going to the echoing hills in the new area.
This suits me just perfectly.
Like up here. It's up by that tree. Did you see you can get the Birthday Decade Spear skin now? You noticed in the vendor in DR. Oh, did they not do a spear originally and now they've added one? Yeah, that conversation about backporting has been a big deal. I think ArenaNet want to be really careful about that because they're going to create expectations that very quickly become quite unwieldy if they backport a lot of stuff. Personally, I think fuck it, don't backport anything. But yeah, people have basically been saying there should be an Aurene Legendary Spear. That's a big one. And I think... Hold on, they didn't do a Gen 2 spear though either, did they? So I don't know why Aurene for Gen 3 gets the precedent with that. You kind of wish this merchant was the Praise Joko you buy guy from Amnoon. Yeah, especially with that reference to him earlier in the series. Okay, so we can get a green rock. Oh, could I have picked a color? I went with green. But I could have picked any color. It glows with a steady inner light. This item has no value outside of the collection. Okay, and then this is it. We return to Forager's Hunt. It's time to make a new Mr. Quiggles. This feels kind of like, are we really nearly done, or are we... I mean, I kind of thought there was more going on with it. Somebody dropped me a comment warning me that you needed Ursus Obliges, and you also needed hearts to be done already. Oh, fuck it. Let's just waypoint. And they said you might want to prep the hearts in advance. And I've basically done that. Wow, the meta's coming up again. That means it's been 2 hours, doesn't it? Yeah, Jesus. Wayfinder, it looks like you were able to find some materials. Find some fine materials. Ready to make a friend?
Nearly done. Some padding here. A few stitches there. And there you have it. Here you are.
Oh, my cub back home will love this. Thank you, Warming Comfort.
Don't thank me. Thank the Wayfinder here. They're the one who gathered everything needed to make it.
Blessings upon you, Wayfinder.
Get used to hearing that, you should. Mr. Quiggles is about to bring a lot more joy to this place, thanks to your deeds.
All right. Well, there we have it. Did it work? Did I get the I did. It did work. Here you go. So, yeah, and I get the Bearkin Warhelm. I don't know what was happening just there where I was reading the list and I couldn't see the Mr. Quiggles thing. But, yeah, so that procced my Janthir Sentry Mastery, and that's finished now. So, there you go. So, if we look now, check this out, guys. Janthir Wilds.
The storm roars on the horizon. Collection.
We mute that. Janthir Wilds. Janthir side stories, they're all done. So that's now the main campaign done, plus the side quests. I loved the History Most Violence. I loved the Titan Researcher, obviously. Star-Crossed Lovers was pretty good. Cryptid Chase was just weird. Getting the crew back together was really good. And then, it's funny, Build-a-Quaggan we just did there apparently occupies a bunch of slots. But yeah, you know, it was just a little bit of fun. So there you have it. That's the full scope of the thing. Just to run through here, I'd like to do this as well. Let's look at the rest of our achievements. Now, the generic Janthir category, I've got to dig up caches. And I think there's something about, like, mythical caches, by the way, like big ones. And I haven't learned about that with the X-Back. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you guys, I haven't not talked about in this Let's Play for 1 second, so let's just do that here. The Warclaw, there's a mechanic going on. When I jump, if you look at my feet, when my feet glow, that's when you want to initiate the next jump after that. And that's how you keep gaining height like this, okay? Like, I didn't talk about that, I didn't really know about that, and obviously once you're out of endurance, that's it. So if you just spam the jumps before the light flash, the flash on my feet like this, if I just spam, they're only little jumps, you see? Tiny, tiny little jumps. But if you wait long enough to get that little bit, you got to get the timing just right on the first one. And then we can get the height. So yeah, that's the mechanic there, and I haven't actually talked about that once. But there you go. The past couple of days I've been playing into that. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, the generic things. It's caches. This is impossible for now. It's called Wildfarer. Explore everywhere in Lowland Shore, everywhere in Janthir Sentry, and then it says explore all areas in an as-yet undiscovered place. That's the next map. And then it'll actually go up to another undiscovered place afterwards, since they've decided there's 4 maps, not 3, so I don't know what they'll do here. Because don't they can't really update achievements when they've gone in, can they, or something? I don't know. Anyway, so because it's not like Guild Wars 1 where they can just keep adding tiers. And then these two are just do decorating. Decorate for 5 minutes as a bee. Decorate for 5 minutes in ground mode. But it has to be in the homestead. I've cleared that and then some in the guild hall. But here I have to do that in the homestead. So this is basically done. There are adventures. So yeah, let's do these now. This was the other thing I wanted to do. So we got the salmon run. The Harvest Shore salmon run. This was the really brutal, insanely difficult thing. I've never touched it. Let's do it now. This, by the way, unlocks, once I finish this, unlocks the ability for me to buy an infinite fish tonic. Not a combat tonic. That'd be insanely cool. But so yeah, I haven't actually done this. This was really hard, but it's been patched now and apparently is easy. I also got a comment from one of you guys clarifying that you could do this without tricks, like equipment tricks and, you know, endurance boosts and stuff like that. It was just, you know, it was just challenging. So anyway, let's see. The animations are ridiculous. Hold on, I'm swimming now. Shouldn't I have the swimming? Where are my skills? Oh, I think it just bugged. So I'm just gonna see where this goes. I think there's a lot where you're going over the land in this one. No! Oh, fuck. Oh, we did get it, actually. Oh my god! What? Whoa! Oh my god! Oh, we got to turn around. Wow! Okay. I wish I did this, like, days ago. The skill 3 is just glub, right? It does nothing. So I get a jump and I get a, like, movement boost, which costs endurance, and collecting the little orbs is giving me my endurance back. The sound effects are so good on this. Oh my god. You know what? I feel bad. It would be so cool to just to join this expansion, be wandering around and see someone flopping around up here as a fish. But I never had that moment. Okay, give me my skills back. Holy fuck. These are cool. I do like them, but they are janky as all hell. We're going to have to jump up here. I'm going to try and do it in the right way. Because we can't surface and then jump. Oh! Okay, it's done it again. Wow, I didn't even realize you could get all the way up here. Oh no, we missed it. I have no idea whether this is gold, by the way. I'm assuming it won't be, even post-patch, because I've done it a bit slow here. What's going on? Oh my god, okay. Oh, we're going into cannons. Is that what we're doing? Oh, I see what they're doing, you know. The whole thing here is... Wait, what is going on? Is that vacuuming me to the right thing? How do I get up there? Oh god, I don't know. Oh, we've definitely fucked this now. Because we don't really know the way. Got no endurance. This is on a ridiculously huge cooldown. Oh, there's the cannon. I see it. Okay. We're going to have to wait again. So it's like back there. I got a bit confused because they had an endurance thing there. All right. Yeah, we'll have to do this again. Let's just see what we get, though. I can imagine someone's watching this who had to try really hard on this. And I've just fucked around here. And if I end up getting gold, it's going to induce rage. And it'll be delicious. Yeah, I see what they're doing. One of them was going downstream, the other's going upstream. And didn't I say that out loud the other day? I said, isn't the whole thing about we go upstream? This is the previous one in reverse, basically. I've got 6 minutes. That's the final one there. Come on. And... what do we get? We got silver. Oh, and we were a good bit off there. Alright, let's try that again. Here we go. Look at the XP I just got there, by the way. The adventures. If you guys want to get the masteries quickly, the adventures are the easiest way to do that. No, I don't want to do the race. I just want to do this. Okay. Now, here we go. I'm going to try to go as quickly as possible. Like, this is nuts, man. Right. Okay. Might be talking a little bit less as I... oh, you twat. What is this? In what way was that fair? I bumped my head on kelp. Wait. And there was a cannon there. Shit. We had to go up already. Alright, let's try that again. It was 1 minute 30, the original time. Oh, that worked out quite well. Jesus, so they've added that much extra time? People managed to do it at 1:30. This must be, like, historically one of the most grinded, like, adventures out there. Just because... oh, God, what are we doing? This way. Just because it was so hard. You had gold pre-patch? Well, they won't have taken your time away from you, so... I'm going to try this. This seems like it's risky. Ow, you... the physics on the jump are really weird. You're, like, locked in. If you're holding W, it will, like, flop you forwards. Which might be a move speed gain a little bit. I guess it is. But, like, I have no control while it's doing this. So my little jump a second ago there was not a good idea. Oh, this is good, though. We went through the on-land bit much better there. And when I'm underwater, it's like a... it, like, rockets me up, but I'm just bumping my head on the surface, it feels like half the time. Also, if you get near the surface, it takes your thing away. But they've got it designed that you end up near the surface all the time. Okay, good. We walk into the cannon. Where was the next cannon? It's up there. Okay, good. We made it. And then this cannon's there. See that bubble there is weird. Come on, get up. Nice. Okay. We definitely have a saving there. I don't know how much. I feel like I started this a bit slow still. I can see where a swim speed booster would be good at this bit. We are getting swiftness at the end of this, though. Or swim speed infusion, I should say. Come on. This is great. I actually feel like I'm a salmon. What does that mean? Swimming upstream. No! What? Did I miss that? Go, go, go. Oh, give me the orb. Don't fuck this up now. Oh. Oh. Alright, we got it. We got gold. So my time there was 3:30. No, my time was... I was only 10 seconds ahead of gold there. Jesus Christ. So many boxes. So much XP. I'm 46th best today. The highest person on my friends list is not Boots. Did Boots not get to it in time? But 2 minutes 16. Or in the guild, I should say, as well. Oh. I would have been 5 seconds off pre-patch. Oh, really? I was only 5 seconds too slow for pre-patch. That doesn't seem that crazy then. I felt like there were loads of little things. I could have saved 5 seconds on that. Maximum glovage achieved. I like that. Alright, there you go. So that's that adventure. I think there's one more adventure, guys, and then we're done. It's the Warclaw run, which is over here, and I've actually done this as a race. So I've done this already. This, by the way, talking about like Corteria update, if they had put races and shit around Corteria and, you know, added new things. This is a really good race in terms of the mechanics. This is not just checkpoints. This is checkpoints and a little bit of like skill execution. So like, there's checkpoints you walk through, but then there's other ones like well, not these. Here we want to use the blue feet thing to stay. This, you got to throw the spear at them to trigger them, and you have to do it. So it's like the Sky Scale. Do you remember last expansion? You'd be shooting Sky Scale fireballs, basically. Well, they're doing it again. It's a bit... And this one flows really well. I never quite got a hang of the fireball stuff with the Sky Scales. But here, like, I target ahead. I execute the skill 4. And you got to get it in order. There, that's probably one jump too fast. And yeah, I have done this as a race, just not as the adventure, so... This isn't blind, this, unfortunately. We got that? Like there, I have to hit that before this one even lights up. I like that, you know? We're going down, I guess. The only unfortunate thing about it is it doesn't feel totally smooth because it's mouse-driven targeting, as far as I can tell. Like, I have to click. If I was able to, like, tab target through it, it would feel really smooth. But possibly then the skill is removed. I don't know. Oh, the Bog Queen's up. One of the achievements I need is to keep squishing those grubs, by the way. And by the way, that achievement is called All the King's Men, which is kind of a cool little suggestion of what they're part of their bodies or whatever. But there you go. So that's the Warclaw run. We get another mastery point there. Got plenty now stockpiled for the next one. It's funny, I still don't. I now have all the Janthir Wild stuff done, plus a stockpile of mastery points, but I do not have the Secrets of the Obscure masteries finished. I have not finished this Astral Ward one, which adds new services to the Wizard's Tower to upgrade Obsidian Armor, which I don't have. Open the Arcane Chest minigame with ease. Provide protection in the meta event, which I've done twice and whatever, I don't really think is that necessary. And then we get a bit more loot from the Spider's Lair meta as well. I don't have this. And I only have 3 points stockpiled for Secrets of the Obscure. So, I am not at 600 mastery. I'm at 593 mastery right now. But I have to say, Janthir Wilds has been so good, my motivation to go back and finish this is definitely up there. Okay, wow. So, yeah, back to the achievements. Lowland Shore, just some small things going on. I'm sure some of it's quite cool. I think there's a skiff race as well, by the way, here. And I haven't done the skiff race. There's not an adventure version of it, unfortunately. And there's fishing competitions and fishing. None of that's appeared in the Let's Play, but it is here on the map. I seriously, the event variety on this map is very good. You know, you got shit from POF in there, you got shit from End of Dragons in there, you got races, you got lots. It's very good. There's definitely a huge quality drop for this map, but the subject material and the vibe in that map's really good, so I'm not too sad about it or whatever. But there we go. So that's that. For Janthir Century, you know, it's just... So these event collector things do one of each event on the map. I'm still missing a few of these. One of them's actually really hard and weird. It's like Defender Camp, but it only spawns during the meta. So, like, I have to do an event here, and the only time that ever comes up is while I should be in the other corners doing Greer or Decima, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Or weird. So that's those. Weekly rifts. I've not really been playing with these. I guess maybe I should get into it. I don't know. The repeatable thing. This is for doing all the renown hearts really high. The mastery and these things. And again, I'll keep pushing these while we wait the 10 weeks. Because why not? I don't know what amazing will come of it. Side stories we have finished. And all the mastery insight points we have finished. That's it. That's the whole expansion. Done. Basically done. Done. This will unlock when they're finished, but I guess it's just extra rewards. Weekly rifts. There you have it. With the exception of one final quest, which I don't know whether we really count it. But this one here, this is in the thumbnail. This is the final thing for us to do, guys. The Falling Star. This gives us a cool looking spear and a gauntlet, and it makes it glow and lights up. So a meteor crash landed into this area of the world at some point, which is a cool idea for a side quest. We need to interview local scouts about the unusual sight. So let me go to Wiki to get this up. And this is kind of Janthir Wilds, but it came in the Wizard's Vault. It feels kind of separate, maybe? I don't know. Oh, look, we're being attacked. That's okay, though. Okay, so the local scouts... Oh, literally just the scouts. Okay. Like the feature, the scouting feature. Oh yeah, someone's just mentioned armor skins as well in chat. That's true as well. Under collections, there is... I got the Titan armor, the Titan plate. Don't forget, there's the polychromatic set, which gives you a spear, the prismatic spear. And then there's woad armor as well. I haven't looked at how good the woad armor looks. Don't even really know. Where do you get this? It's not from the hearts. Maybe caches or something? So there's 2 armor sets I didn't get as well, as far as like achievements are concerned. Yeah, woad and polychromatic. I have a notepad of things I wanted to mention this final episode, and that was one of them. Those extra armor sets. Okay, we need to go to... Oh, God. Well, something weird apparently happened. I just got a strange sound effect. Over here. The hot springs. So wait, am I literally just speaking to this guy? Whoa. I pressed F on him and he entered Earth Attunement. Welcome! You look like the helpful sort, Outlander, that's so. If I'm right, there's plenty you can do. Does that mean no one's ever pressed F on him on this mega server? Have you heard anything about a meteor falling in the area? I heard murmurs about that, but I didn't see it myself. Was it the scouts in the mire? Yeah, I think it was. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we want to go to another scout. Whoa, what? The map, it looks crazy here. The map is like way out in the water. Let's go, I guess. Oh, you get the woad armor from reward tracks, and you can also get it from PvP. Oh, wait, did they add exclusive stuff then for that? That's very good. Look, I will say it again. I think they've made many good decisions for PvP. Push just doesn't feel like one that's really landed for me. But they've made some good ones. Is that really true? So they're just competitive sets associated with this expansion. Look, guys, look. Janthir Wilds, it's set in pre-searing. Look at that. We're in pre-searing Ascalon, guys. Oh my god. I do like how this area of the map, though, right? Clearly, the environment art is very clearly, like, carefully curated. Like, they do kind of create a bit of an archway. Oh my god, fucking infinite poison. I'm trying to mount. Like, there clearly is kind of, like, because they sort of frame the Titan as it walks off. But it's funny. This immediately just became pre. Look, I don't deny that push is probably fun in the short term. It's fun in the short term, just like 2v2s are fun in the short term, just like 3v3s are short in the short term, just like doing the Rumble Pit is fun in the short term, just like World vs. World can be fun in the short term. Or, well, let's not add World vs. World. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be meat grinder. Like, whether it really has legs, I seriously doubt. So the map says, by the way, that it's right out here in the water, that the meteor crashed out here. I feel like I've skipped a step, though. Do I have to swim down? Oh my god, it's deep. Holy shit, and they've populated it with enemies and everything. I've hit a strong current and will be pushed back. I thought that was going to have the Titan threat message. But it didn't. Huh. So hold on, I think I've messed around here. It says, so hold on, what am I doing? Interview local scouts, still. Go to Harmire. Yeah, I think that there is. It's there. It says retrieve the unknown object. I think we got to go down somewhere. Sorry, I'm on wiki here. Maybe I've messed up a little bit. I think it's like around here. Let's go back underwater and see. No, I need to do more scouts because the collection icon would be there. People are saying in chat. Okay. Well, I'll go speak to another scout, I guess, then. You need to talk to all the scouts. Yeah, Wiki has a weird thing where it says basically the scouts direct you to that final scout. And Wiki only included one map to one scout. But let's see. Hello. Have you heard about a meteor? From this village we can't see much of the surrounding land, though I did hear rumours of a light in the northwest, if that helps you. I hope I didn't mess up by going to the last scout first. See what this guy says. Have you heard anything about Mia? Some time ago, the Night Watch reported a descending light from the west. Does that sound like what you're after? Yeah, I think, guys, these are just supposed to lead me. I mean, I will try this scout, I guess. He's pretty close to the meteor. What do you think? The light that struck the sea, yeah. There was a sharp clamour from the north, then silence. Speak with a scout at the Mall Boneyards. From that vantage, I'm sure they saw the precise spot. And that's what we just did. Wait, no. This isn't the Mall Boneyards. Who's the one at the Mall Boneyards? It's this guy. This is where we need to go. I went to the one at the hot springs, and the map looked a little bit similar, but yeah. We want to go up here. So he's nice and high, and he'll probably say, oh, you saw it hit the water. That's great that they've actually managed to find a way to use the random watery areas on the periphery of the maps, which are, like, always there, you know? And always when I go swimming out there, I'm always surprised when there's, like, mobs around or whatever. Because, like, there's no content there. Alright. Up the cliffs, I guess we go. Scout, you should check the wiki. Did you know you can type /wiki in the chat box? Here we go. Yeah, this guy would clearly see it, wouldn't he? So the one scout not right next to a waypoint. Back at the graveyard. Hello. Look, he's pointed right out towards it. Have you seen anything about a meteor? Yeah, I saw it myself. A pillar of light that fell from the sky in the waters off the Harmire. Hand me your map. I will mark the spot. Okay, thank you. Now, let's go over. Yeah, it's on my map now. It's even, like, caught on the edge of the map, which is how I wish they all were. I don't know why all the icons don't do that. Down we go. Let's get on our trusty orca. Here we are, look. This is an unknown object. Oh, and it's the spear. That's so cool. Wait, what does this tell? Wait, hold on. You're telling me that there was a spear in orbit of Tyria that crashed down on a meteor? So who built the spear? Where is it from? Oh no, it just says it's a spear-like object. But it's clearly manufactured, right? That looks quite cool, actually. I like the little black beads in it and stuff. The spear-like object is impaled deeply into the solid rock. The rock seems to have melted around it. Time to report back. Let's see if Wizard's Vault has anything to help. Return to Field Archivist to report about what we found. Okay. Silly wiki. I think the wiki's fine. To be honest, the wiki's excellent, and I don't think we've ever needed any other resource. I mean, achievement of the day was fun, and I kind of like the idea. You know, we've got a bunch of achievements here. I like the idea of, like, just whacking one out every day or something, but... Wiki covers it all, man. I found the meteor embedded in the seafloor, but I couldn't pull it free. The rock is melted around it, and the meteor still retained its shape. How fascinating. Well, then we simply need to reheat it to a high enough temperature to loosen its bonds. I take it you have some magical relic for that? Unleashing one treasure to secure another would have us running in circles. For this, we can rely on allies of the ward to make us a new tool. What do you have in mind? I'll arrange an introduction with Morga Bloodseeker, the master armor of the Black Citadel. He's not one of us, but an ally we can work with. His mastery of heat is what we'll need. Oh, okay. I'll pay him a visit. Splendid. Tell him it's about the Meteor Iron Order. I expect he'll need some odds and ends as power sources. While you're there, I'll return to the tower to pick up a few small things. Got it. See you later then. Awesome. Ask Morga Bloodseeker in the Black Citadel about crafting a specialized glove. Meteor ore and meteor iron is not a thing that Guild Wars has so far really had. Guild Wars 3 is in space, where we hunt the spearmakers. Wait, clip that. Oh, this thing about who made the spear. Is that relevant? Maybe in a year we'll be on asteroids, guys. Asteroid hopping. Oh, the telegraphs for this quest are really good. I don't need to use the wiki because it's just marked it for me. It's not right that in this game, half these side quests, I have to be on a guide website, basically. It should just be this. It should be, okay, there's a quest objective over there, go do it. I think the icon is really weird. I mean, why is it a diamond with a crown in it? But, you know. 14, Twilight. Wait, this isn't the... Oh! This is the Waiting Sorrow quest from last expansion. Gladium, Guide of the Ward. What she lost would be gained in other ways. Dude, those tarot cards were so mystical and so incredible and so mysterious and fun. And all that mystery just is gone now that we know Waiting Sorrow. They seem like such a ethereal, tormented, interesting character. Okay, well, I guess we do need the wiki then. Because it's telegraphing. I mean, maybe that says it all, really. Because they can't put too many of those telegraphs on screen at once or something. I don't know. What the fuck? Alright, we're going to the Memorial Quadrant. We can go to Factorium Waypoint to get there. And then... Wait, are they in the bar? It's really tricky. They're like there-ish. Oh, here we go. He's just the armor smith here. That's great. I'm here about the Meteor Iron Order. Yeah, they're calling it Meteor Iron. Ah, so it's about that job. I got the details from my bandmate. Heating a weapon to melt solid rock. I'll need specialized materials. Here's the list. Get these while I get to smithing. Okay, cool. Oh, well, this is quite big then, actually. The Falling Star crafting list. Gather materials and goods for creating a glove capable of retrieving the spear. Circling Heat Pearl. The energy supply can be handled with a trinket from the vault. Even if the output's low, you'd be surprised how it can build up. Warclaw fur liner. Snug, surprisingly snug, and incredibly heat resistance. Purchased from Guiding Breath at the Harvest Den, Renown Heart. Yeah, so these are all heart purchases, basically. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 3 on each map, right? So I can just go to each heart, simple as that. Oh, why is this not done again? Fucking hell. Was there reset already since I did this? I thought I had these set up. Oh, there was a weird phrasing, was there? Did I say something sexy? Right. Thankfully, I have a bomb of these things. So there you go, the heart is done. Oh, I didn't even need to finish the heart, actually. Right, it's 50 Ursus Obliges for the Warclaw fur, surprisingly snug and soft. Oh, or maybe I do. Maybe it'll be locked off. Let's see. I can open the vendor, but it might just say, hey, you need to actually finish this before we'll let you buy it. No, we can just buy it anyway. Refined tempering oil from this guy. Distilled repeatedly from salmon scales for use in metallurgical processes. And here's the floppy fish tonic, which I couldn't buy before. This wants me to finish the thing, so, I mean, fuck it, let's do it. How many have I got still? Yeah, I've got 27 of the damn things. 2. And this is all progressing that achievement as well. There you go. We can buy that. Endless floppy fish. Oh, there it is. Add to account. Very nice. Not we're getting your pleasures back as we do this. So that's that. Oh, by the way, in the previous part, someone asked me about like why like tentacles and stuff were on all the boxes and the skins. Well, here's and I said I don't know. Maybe it's just I wouldn't look into it too deeply because maybe they make the items for one release but get it in late. Like for example, right now we buy Onyx Spiders things. But this seems like it's mostly to match up with the previous patch, with the meta event, the Spider's Lair and all that, right? So it just feels like it's like slightly offset or desynced or something. Okay, from this guy, we have the Crystalline Diode, a strange stone found within an elemental beast with a potentially useful energy transfer properties. So we can grab that. Now let's head back over to the second map. And we can get the 3 items from here. Now I can glub whenever I need to, yeah. It is a good tonic. I mean, I love the mini, and I've been using the mini for Christ knows how long. This is nearly finished. I should finish this before reset. Anyway. Oh. He's not selling me the thing. So it's not available, actually. Falling Star. Oh god, I'll just eyeball all of these, I guess. The crafting list here. Oh, we buy this in Fireheart Rise. And Mount Maelstrom and Dredgehorn. Oh my god. Oh, I had no idea. Okay, so Fireheart Rise where? Not that. At Amduat Point in Fireheart Rise. Amduat Point. It doesn't ring a bell for me. Oh, well, here. Okay. So this heart, maybe? By the way, you can now do 2 events with the Quaggan plush added. Oh, really? There's like a follow-up to it. Hello. Yeah, Flame Legion Dark Steel. Slabs of experimental lava-forged metal. Nice. All these ores and things feel very Terraria to me. Only one of the pieces left from an ill-fated Inquest project to harness draconic power in the Golem chassis. Wow. And that's at Mount Maelstrom. That's going to be near the lab, obviously. Ooh. Perhaps? Yeah, here's Zara. You had the plush long before you finished the collection, though? When you guys say you had it, do I have like an accessory or something that I can equip now? Salvage grade 37 crystalline coupling. And then finally, the dredge heat ablation plates. The dredge are well learned in heat shielding and loss. These plates leverage both. Oh, that's at the Tribulation Rift. That's near Sorrow's Embrace. I can almost feel a temptation to ask players to beat Sorrow's Embrace here, but... You know, they could have asked you to do COE and COE. Oh my god, I bet this was once upon a design. Do the dungeons, right? There are all vendors right next to dungeons. But then they thought, oh, that's too much, I guess. Can't ask people to play the game. So we'll put them on the hearts instead. That would have been a fun idea, though, wouldn't it? Go run a bunch of core dungeons when an expansion launches. I had it in the homestead. Oh, I see. Oh, is it like a toy decoration I can put around in there? Okay, dredge heat ablation plates. There you go. Complete the gather the items, then speak to the guy in the Black Citadel again. You love it when the quest sends you back to core content? Yeah, I mean, I've said that 1,000. I must sound like a complete broken record, to be honest, guys. But you have no quarrel with me. Because I feel the same. Here's the goods. Not bad. I've prepared the chassis already, so now all that's left is a bit of sizing. Calibrate this. Hold out your hand for a moment so I can measure. Done. Go knock 'em dead. Okay, a perfect fit, alright. I'll test it out soon enough. With the meteor wielder's glove equipped, retrieve the spear. So here, this is kind of amazing, guys, actually. We get a skin. And it looks pretty cool, I guess. It's ascended gear, though, with an infusion, a max level infusion for free. The flavor text all over it. This is a good... Think about it. You buy it... You could have just got a skin or something from the Wizard's Vault, but you get a whole quest, loads of, like, stuff to do, an infusion, an ascended armor piece, and an ascended weapon. You get a lot of stuff from this. Now, that to me is a big win, and because legacy rewards are permanently going to be in the vault, just in the other tab, well, there you have it. Like, there's no problem with ArenaNet doing this. I think it's a good Astral Acclaim purchase. Alright, and as for what I'll do, I guess I will just pick light. It'll unlock them all. It's already unlocked them, actually. Let's just pick light, and then let's equip it. Ugh. Do you know what's annoying about that, though? That's unequipped my legendary, and it will have no memory for the infusion that was in it, the stats that was in it, the skin that was on it. It's going to be tedious as all hell to set that back up, but that's fine. Okay, so we got the gauntlet on, and now we can pull the spear out of the rock. This is kind of amazing. It's very new as an idea, so there's almost nothing... There's no connections to draw this to, but the idea that there was something that made a spear out in space and it came crashing in. It's cool. It's also like that immortality thing, you know, where you can blast your ashes into space in orbit of Earth, knowing it will only decay in like 1 billion years. Maybe some ancient race did something like that, you know. We need glam plates like in 14. No, come on, man. 14's glamour system is nowhere near as good as this game's skin system. There's just a lot of dodgy interactions with legendaries. The armory is kind of annoying in terms of like memory. You can extract the infusion. Yeah, the way it works, we talked about this on the previous part. The spear has 2 skins. It has a lit up mode and then a non-lit up mode. And if you have the gauntlet equipped, it will light up. Or if you have the infusion. So you can just put the infusion anywhere and there you go. Maybe a radical Norn just threw a spear really, really hard. He threw it into orbit, or just high, and then it landed back down. It's funny, because these recent stories are all about the mists and attacks from the mists. And the game has always been really vague about, like, what, you know, the physical solar system versus the mist. You know, they're not even, like, thought of as distinct entities, which I think is kind of true about some real-life earthly mythologies, mythological beliefs and stuff. So it's funny to think, does that count? Does this count as a threat from the mists? The falling star, and there it is. Within its core, the unabating heat of the star lingers. Vault category locally threatening. I see, we buy it from the Wizard's Vault, and the idea is that we're literally talking about the vault in Isgaren's tower. Why is the shark still chasing me? And of course it's a spear, and the spear is the new thing in the X-Pack. Kind of wish I did this really early, to be honest. It would have been kind of cool to go through this story with meteor metal. But on the other hand, we do have all the post patches to do. Why am I still in combat? What the fuck? This is insane. Oh my god, thank you. Okay, return to report about the spear. Am I in combat again? No. I swear I just heard like a shark hit me or something. I'm furiously auto running away so that I can waypoint. The infusion from the glove is what makes it light up. I believe it has to be... Yeah, hold on. I'll equip them both as well. It feels really weird to do all this and then not actually. So let me take off my pirate outfit. There we go. There's a bit of lag on that. Oh, I had the weirdest thing in game last night, guys. I guess this is really common. I didn't realize it was really common. But I was looking at my achievements while reset happened. And my entire game shat itself. Like, I had really low frames. It was ultra stuttery. Now, I've been playing Guild Wars 2 for years, and I'm no stranger to playing as reset ticks over. I have never had UI lag when reset happens. It just kind of happens. But my entire game crapped itself. And the people I was in Discord with at the time basically said, yeah, that's a really common thing. Like, I have a friend who said he's prone to crashing out of the game at reset. I had no idea that was a thing. Anyway, my PC started doing it, apparently. So there we go. Here's the spear. I think it looks good as well. I like the little metallurgy details there. I like the mystery of it. This is genuinely a good bit of the expansion. Or ancillary to the expansion, however you want to call it. You've never had a crashing issue? No, me neither, but I've never even had a lag issue, but my frames dropped so hard, I can imagine a PC crashing out of the client at that point, yeah. Here we go, I have the meteor spear, and do we have dialogue on? No. Magnificently done! I see no need to seal that artifact in the vault. I'll make a note of its characteristics for Vivienne's bookkeeping, and you can put it to use in your main line of work. I'll make sure it's safe. Thanks for the help. The falling is 10 AP as well. 10 fucking AP. I've noticed there's a couple of things in this where they're less stingy on AP than they usually are. That was my last eyeballed quest, guys. Oh my god, okay, let me look at my notepad here now. Okay, I talked about balance. I put forward the theory that the Seers healed themselves upon the Bloodstone. We compared Darda's note to Mabon's mote. We talked about the Warclaw foot mechanic. I talked about the polychromatic armor and the woad armor. We went to Fading Aurora's house. We unlocked the final mastery on screen. We beat the Wisps. We did the Quaggan thing. We did the meteor spear story. We did both adventures. We did the meta event. The last thing I have on the list is just the vague thing of decorations. So let's head on in to our homestead. Oh, this will be quite nice. Look, we're ending the series at home, guys. Our new home. I have an item equipped that doesn't have stats equipped. Stats selected, that's fine. Because I'm logging out anyway. Literally just not log into Guild Wars again now for 3 months. And I'll come back and wonder why my gear's all messed up. So yeah, I used the collection boxes. You just press F. I equipped a glyph to it. So like I equipped this, the glyph of the herbalist, 33% chance to get bonus rewards, which I thought was quite cool. So this was a little system. So you can see all the glyphs listed there. I was wondering if my friends could use the box and get the benefit from my glyph, but I don't think they can, which is a bit of a shame. But I got so much XP just pressing F on that once. It just threw all that stuff in. A little thing Kerry pointed out to me as well here is this saw, if you stand on it, it actually bleeds you. And it makes a gross slicing noise. Listen to that. Oh, my lord. Oh, no, this is not hammer, so I don't actually know what or if... Oh, I do have a cleanse on the 3. It is a cleanse. Damn, the 3's good. It's like Riptide. It's like Sword 2 on Sword, but it's 600 range and I can pick where I go. Sword 2 on Sword, what am I saying? Anyway, Water 2 on Sword. So yeah, look, but the thing is, right, I guess we need to do this. So, refinements, I need to go to this lower tab, and there's these upgrades. So we have some currencies from the X-Pack now, so I'm going to buy what I can. 200 obliges, 30 honey flowers. This significantly improves the efficiency of trading logs for fiber. And then we have this one here as well. Also significantly improves the efficiency of trading logs for wood. And this is 30 charged titan ore and 8 gold. And then here we have another 100 obliges to increase the maximum number of trades I can do per week. And that kicked me out for some reason. This one I can't do because we don't have enough lowland pine logs. Like, I should have been gathering the whole time. But this one we can do. Increases the maximum number of logs per week. So there we go. It seems like there should be a sound effect on that, but there's not. This one is hardened leather and titan amber. And then finally 100 homestead fiber and some gossamer for that. So these are the upgrades I needed. There's the black market thing as well. So now I think I can much more efficiently buy and trade this stuff and get my wood. So I can make 21 purchases with greenwood. And I assume this has balanced out all the gathering economies in the game, which is quite good if it works out, if people actually end up doing a lot of decorating. But I mean, look at all the wood I'd need for all this. Like 150 more purchases there. I'm still not going to hit my maximum purchases. Look at this. It's so high. It's so many. So anyway, so that's it for the wood, and then there's basically the same thing going on over here. No, wait, what? That's the collection box. Here we go, the refinement, the farm. Same thing. 200 obliges, and some 30 honey flowers. I'll just buy whatever I can here. But you can see, so I basically, I logged in, I started looking at all this economy stuff, and I thought, I can't really be bothered. So I'll just slowly work away on these as we go along. So look, a homestead up. Wait, what does that homestead upgrade for floor, did that say? So I can't buy either of those. And then over here is where we actually craft the stuff, right? Yeah. And there's a lot. And obviously none of them are locked. I'm very disappointed in how they handled the unlocking of decorations. I much would have rathered there's like a rare decoration that comes from doing a meta event. Go and filter them through all the old world bosses and shit like that. That would have been way cooler. But maybe this is just their default recipe set from the mastery. And then in later patches they can change it. I don't know though. Is the next patch going to let us go further with the mastery so we can get like master decorations and then grandmaster? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. But yeah, I'll have to play with it a lot to have some real opinions about it. My instinct is a lot of it's not how I quite would have liked it, but you know. So there you go, that's it. That's Janthir Wilds, everybody. Chat's trying to get me to go in the mine. Yeah, wait, someone told me something about the mine. Like I missed something in there or something? We went in the mine in the last episode, guys. They have confirmed decoration recipes will be added to other content. Well, that's excellent. Yeah, so look, if we just take their original thing as like just a baseline, and now they're going... Because to me, the whole thing is evergreen, evergreen, evergreen. I really want like reasons to go back and do other stuff. So the decoration recipes would be a great opportunity for them, I think. Yeah, we've been in the mine. I don't know. So there you have it, guys. Thank you very much for watching my playthrough in Janthir Wilds. If you've liked this, I'm going to do another series exactly like this. We'll be in another MMO. We'll be starting out with FF14. My plan right now is to start that exactly 1 week from today. So it's Monday. That series starts next Monday. What I've been doing is streaming every other day. I'm going to give myself a week for final prep and to set stuff up. So 1 week from now, I'll be back. It'll be the same thing, same time of day, same area of the internet, right here on YouTube, and we'll just be in another game. And it'll be lots of fun. It's totally free. You guys can install it for yourselves if you like and play along, or just watch. It's your choice. Or watch and then decide if it looks fun at that point. But yeah, I have other things planned and other things coming. I'll just put it all in the channel update. But yeah, so that's Janthir Wilds, and for everyone else, I will see you in, at most, 10 weeks with the next patch, where we'll get back in and we'll continue along. Thank you, guys. The comments have been amazing. I found this really rewarding. The live chat has been very active and very fun, and, you know, it's been great to have your company here, and it is nice to have a live component. But what I also have really liked is people who are watching these after they, you know, if you didn't catch it when it first came out, there have been so many good comments and reflections. These past 3 episodes or so maybe have been a bit slow. And yeah, I appreciate the Q&A bits have maybe been a bit long. Like, the first 6 to 7 episodes of this series feel very different to the second 7 episodes. So I don't know, I'm still kind of iffy on that a little bit. But, you know, the comments have been amazing, and it has been nice to be able to... You know, because for years, what I really liked doing was Q&A videos, and I can't manage to get a bunch here in here with the playthrough. So, on reflection, I think it's been nice fun, and yeah, it's been a cool project for this month. So thank you, everybody. It's been great for the feedback. I'm glad that it's watchable and fun in the future, and I'll look to getting Corey's timestamps on all of them now that the playlist is done. But this is it. This is officially over. My Janthir Wilds launch Let's Play is done. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you for the channel update next time. And the re-upload of 6. And, yeah. And I'm reading your live messages here, guys. So thank you very, very much. Look, if there's a big secret in the mine, I'll open the next batch of videos with that. Whatever that is. Take care, guys. Thank you all. And have a good night. Bye-bye. Can I just say this intro screen as well from Mr. Modius has been amazing the whole time. Thank you for that as well.